right now.
Back with the head coach of the Horned Frogs here, Sonny Dykes. This was a tough game last week for BYU. It was a lot closer than the score showed.
Yeah. If you look at the game, it was really a field position game. BYU had a couple of turnovers on their side of the field, and Texas Tech really had a hard time, scoring. Kicked a bunch of field goals. Started to be able to run the ball as the game went on, and ran it a little better in the fourth quarter. But it was one of those games that you look at the score and you think, oh, Tech dominated and turned the game on, and it really wasn't the case. It was a hard-fought game, a really competitive game, but BYU made some critical mistakes, and Texas Tech capitalized on them.
Kalani Sitake's a guy who I know you respect, and has really kind of built that program in his mindset. There's a toughness about that.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, he's a defensive-minded coach, tough guy. Love Kalani. I mean, just a really, really good person, really good football coach. His teams are always going to be well coached and play at a high level.
Aaron Roderick's his offensive coordinator. They call it the wide zone spread. Bear Bachmeier, the freshman quarterback, is interesting in that he's not your prototypical BYU quarterback.
No. You think about Jim McMahon and Gifford Nielsen and all those guys way back when, and Steve Young, and he's more of a throwback. I mean, he's a big, powerful, good runner, and he's done a really good job of minimizing risk. I mean, I think that's the big thing that he's done for a young quarterback. He hadn't turned the ball over much. He's a tough runner when he runs it. He's an effective thrower. Really has done a nice job operating their offense.
And it's really a two-man run game, right? He and L.J. Martin are the ones that carry the load.
Yeah, they do. They carry most of the load, and they're both big physical guys, run downhill, and they're always have a big offensive line and defensive front. So they're going to build their team up front. They're going to build it with big guys, and they're going to be a strong physical football team. Yeah,
offensive line's rated top 20 in the country. They got a wide receiver in Chase Roberts who's 6'4", and guess what? Another tight end who's 6'4", 250, who's pretty good.
Yeah, good skill. I mean, they really do. They got guys that can run, and they do a nice job of their offense executing, and like I said, minimizing risk and doing a good job of making first downs and moving the football.
Defensively, they're really good against the run, right? But folks have been able to throw the ball a little bit on them.
Yeah. I think they're going to commit to stopping the run. I mean, that's what they're going to do, and anytime you do that, you're going to be a little susceptible to giving up some plays in the passing game. But, I like their cover guys. They do a really good job with the two linebackers of creating pressure, blitzing. I think those are probably the two best linebackers, in the league, just in terms of on the same team. And both the guys are good pass rushers. They're effective. They're physical. They're long. They're athletic. They can cover. They chase people down sideline to sideline. So two really good players.
Evan Johnson at corner is getting a lot of attention as well.
Yeah. He's a big, long guy. Does a nice job getting his hands on the receivers and, really challenges routes.
All right, finally, what do you want to see out of your group here tonight?
Well, it's the same for us as always. Take care of the football. We take care of the football on offense and create some turnovers on defense. We're going to like the outcome.
All right, go get them, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
That's Sonny Dykes, his team set to take on BYU. We got the starting lineups opening kickoff here from Lavelle Edwards Stadium coming your way next after this timeout. Affordability is the biggest problem in today's car market. New vehicles average nearly $48,000, and most people's wages, they haven't kept up. That's why some are stuck with a 7-year loan just to make the payment work. At D&M Leasing, we solve that problem with the Easy Lease, offering lower monthly payments, no money down, and terms that make sense. Don't overpay. Solve the payment problem. Visit dmautololeasing.com or call 817 or 214-35-LEASE today.
We make leasing easy at D&M.
At Texas Health, we're proud to support TCU. From primary care to urgent care, from our growing number of hospitals to at-home care and virtual visits, Texas Health offers more ways to connect with the care you need, so you can spend more time on what matters most, like watching the game. Learn more at texashealth.org/TCU. And go Frogs!
Life's too short to live in Dallas. That's the motto at Railhead. It's on the walls and the staff shirts. Railhead Smokehouse offers a spectacular menu of heaping plates of ribs, sliced beef, fries, and cheddar peppers. With weekday specials and their world-famous ice-cold schooners of beer and margaritas. From the barbecue landmark at 2900 Montgomery, just off I-30. Remember, the best barbecue in Fort Worth is at Railhead Smokehouse, home of the Sonny Dykes radio show Mondays at 6 p.m.
Hey! Give them hell, TCU. On the Horned Frogs Sports Network.
TCU athletics goes beyond the field and court. It fuels Fort Worth's economy. Game days bring a flood of fans and fresh eyes to our city, boosting local businesses, creating jobs, and cultivating community spirit. TCU Athletics supports over 2,000 jobs and brings over $400 million to our state each year. It's more than a game. It's a driving force for economic growth. Support the Horned Frogs and witness the power of purple. TCU. Lead on with impact.
Get your game face on and get ready for the thrill of TCU football. Join us at Amon G. Carter Stadium for an action-packed season. Feel the roar of the crowd and experience the excitement of every touchdown as you witness the electric atmosphere that only TCU football can deliver. Whether you're a die-hard fan or new to the Horned Frogs Nation, every game brings unforgettable memories. Grab your tickets today at GoFrogs.com and be part of the action as we bleed purple together. TCU football, the Carter awaits.
Who's in and who's out? This week's injury report from Baylor Scott and White. On the Frog sideline, here is Elvis Gallegos.
Back at Lavelle Edwards Stadium for tonight's injury report, TCU versus BYU. And let's start on the Cougar side. Running back Sione Moa will be out for tonight. Wide receiver Cody Hagan also out for the Cougars tonight. And punter Sam Vanderhaar will not punt. It'll be the sophomore Fuller Shirts, a kid from Katy, Texas, will be doing the punting duties tonight for the Cougars. Over to the TCU side, out for tonight's game, it's running back Kavorian Barnes, wide receiver Ed Small, place kicker Kyle Limmerman, and tight end Lafayette Cayuway. That is it for the injury report. Now it's over to Daniel Starks for a weather report.
Here's your game day weather forecast. Here in Provo, it is a little bit cooler than it is in Fort Worth. 58 degrees right now before kick. It's going to get down to the low 50s before the end of tonight's game. Not much wind either. A little bit breezy out of the east-southeast, but gusts are only getting up to about 10 miles an hour, so nothing there for that matter. Very little chance for rain either, so mostly cloudy. Temperature sitting at about 58 right before kick. That's your game day weather forecast. I'm Daniel Starks. The guys are back with their cover 3, the 3 keys for a Horned Frogs victory when Inside TCU football continues after this from Evan Williams.
Hey, college football fans, it's sideline reporter Molly McGrath teaming up with Evan Williams Bourbon to welcome you to Bourbon Nation, the home of game day's #1 pour. We're celebrating every snap from coast to coast because it doesn't matter what colors you wear as long as Evan's there. Find a bottle near you at evanwilliams.com and enjoy the smooth, rich taste of my favorite Kentucky bourbon at your next tailgate. Go Frogs! Evan Williams Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky, 43% alcohol by volume, must be 21 plus, enjoy responsibly.
What's the difference between filing online and filing with a local Liberty Tax expert? At Liberty Tax, you'll get personalized support from a trained professional who'll take the time to get to know you and your unique tax situation. Whether you're wanting to file in person or remotely with a nearby expert, we've got you covered. Visit libertytax.com to book an appointment or to learn more about remote tax prep. Liberty Tax, your trusted tax experts for life. See website for details and eligibility.
Hey TCU fans, are you looking for that perfect holiday gift for that special Horned Frog in your life? Look no further than an unforgettable trip to the 2026 Aer Lingus College Football Classic in Dublin, Ireland. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see the Horned Frogs on the Emerald Isle. This year, give the gift of Ireland and make memories that will last a lifetime. Visit frogstoireland.com for more information on official hotel and hospitality packages. That's frogs, the number 2, Ireland.com.
Today's game is brought to you by Barbasol Shaving Cream. Why pay more for gels when Barbasol delivers an instant thick lather for a close, comfortable shave? Choose Barbasol, a quality shave and trusted value. You're listening to TCU Football on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield.
At TCU, we're investing in potential. On average, 80% of Horned Frogs receive financial aid that helps fuel their dreams and futures. You can help by supporting student scholarships. Your generosity plants the seeds of opportunity, allowing students to grow into tomorrow's leaders and innovators. Visit tcu.edu/give to contribute. Large or small, your gift matters. TCU, lead on with impact.
At TCU, our students mean business. With more than 36,000 internship hours logged every year, Horned Frogs are gaining real-world experience and making their marks in the professional world. Is your business looking for driven, talented interns? Hire a Horned Frog and bring that dedication and skill to your team. Visit tcu.edu/hireafrog to find out how you can tap into this incredible pool of talent. TCU, lead on with impact.
Your Frogs have prepped all week for this. We call it Cover 3. Here's Brian Estridge.
Welcome back into Provo here, just at the base of the Wasatch Mountains. LaVell Edwards Stadium, home of the BYU Cougars. Cover 3 is our final look at tonight's game and what the experts see as the most important factors for success for TCU. Those experts, by the way, are, of course, Marshall Newhouse and Elvis Gallegos. Elvis, I'll start with you tonight. Let's start on the defensive side, where the Frogs have actually been, let's say, good enough, but they won't have seen a run game like they'll see tonight, I don't think, this year, have they?
No, I think you're right. I mean, it's a really good group. It starts with the star running back, L.J. Martin, kid out of El Paso, Texas, 6'2", 220. I mean, he's good. I was just watching him in warm-ups. Thick thighs, just a really good mover, real patient runner. I think they have a couple of guys up front. You know, this group averages 200 yards per game. They have a couple of tackles, really good. Isaiah Jata and the Gentry kid on the other side, really good offensive lineman. I think you have to commit to loading the box. If you can commit to loading the box, you've got to win first down. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on winning first downs. I want to see run blitzes. I want to see our interior guys in Dimbu and Deal just eat up blocks and take on some double teams. And then the edge guys have to be patient. L.J. Martin is a patient runner. He's got great vision. He looks for cutbacks. I think all those things got to be locked in. The run game is very important tonight.
Yeah, Bear Mockmeyer at quarterback is a different kind of quarterback here at BYU. Sonny Dykes talked this week about the challenge that quarterback presents and he creates for a defense, especially in the run game.
He plays within himself. He doesn't try to do too much. You can tell he's got a lot of confidence in his teammates. He's got a lot of confidence in the defense. He doesn't play impulsive. You know, he just makes really, really good, mature decisions with the football. They've done a really nice job of managing him and getting him to play with that kind of confidence. Better thrower than I think probably he gets credit for. I'm impressed with the way he's performed this season, and to do it as a young player, I think is really a credit to BYU staff and to his maturity and just kind of their program.
These are always physical affairs when facing BYU. And Marshall, this one, well, it's going to be no different. I don't know. I know that you've had your eye on this offensive line all week as you work on your top key. That's good. Their play today has to be important, doesn't it?
Well, listen, this is a top 10 run blocking unit here in Provo. A lot of mass up front. And listen, they didn't have a good week last week in Lubbock, and they're going to absolutely want to rebound from that. But sneakily, this TCU defense is 18th in the country in yards per carry allowed. So they have done a really good job of stymieing rushing attacks and giving themselves a chance. I think tonight, as Elvis alluded to, maybe loading the box, but making plays that control the line of scrimmage on first and second down, and making this offense, forcing Bear Bachmeier to be a passer, make reads, making them beat you in the air is going to be crucial tonight.
I like that idea. Elvis, by the way, as we go to number 2 when we talk keys, you mentioned something earlier. It almost sounded as if you were challenging the Frogs on one down here tonight.
Well, it's the third down that, I mean, defensively, you look at the Frogs, one knock is that they haven't been great on getting off the field on third down. This BYU team is not great statistically on third down. I haven't even looked at the numbers, but I guarantee they're probably better at night here at home on third down. There's going to be rocking tonight. I think offensively, they've got to continue. Over 50% is going to be really important. So, yes, the third down, moving the sticks, moving the chains is important, but getting off the field on third down for the Avalos' defense has just been one part they haven't executed well this year.
Yeah, Sonny Dykes agrees with you, especially on the defensive side. He knows you can't let BYU keep playing tonight and converting those third downs.
We've done a good job on first and second down, and historically, you know, that's kind of Andy Avalos' magic has been third down, you know, where he can dial up some blitzes and get after the quarterback and scheme things up, and you know, and that's a preseason would be a strength, and it hasn't turned out that way, and there's a variety of reasons why, and obviously it's something that we're trying to get addressed, and I know that we will. We just got to continue to find ways to get off the field on third down.
Yeah, but on the other side of the ball, the offensive side of things, in order to be good on third down, your quarterback has to make plays. And I know Marshall tonight is no different, is it?
Absolutely. This game is going to ride on Josh Hoover's ability to make plays down the field. They're susceptible on the edges, on their corners. I would stay away from these safeties. Tanner Wall and Faliatu Satuala are really stout safeties in the middle, but they have mismatches on the edge. And Josh Hoover versus this defense that likes to play man, they play man at almost a 33% clip. That's 1/3 of the time. He is leads the nation with 10 big-time throws against man coverage. So he's going to have to find his matchups, take his opportunities, and say, I'm going to live with my guy, Eric McAllister, on the edge versus your guy.
All right, it's amazing. Josh Hoover, he knows the challenge will be difficult tonight. Listen to him detail this defense from BYU.
We got 9 possessions on Saturday, and you can't waste any of those. I mean, they're all crucial. They're all important, and you can't make mistakes. So it's a different league. It's a different game that we play. Some of the recent rule changes, and that's why it's always been important, but it's even more important now to start fast and be ready from the very first snap. And so I think we're focused on that and going to take steps to improve in that area.
Yeah, starting fast is important, but he knows what this challenge in this BYU defense is going to present.
Yeah, they're super talented. They're really, really good up front. They're a physical, big team. They're really good at linebackers, long corners, really good when they get hands-on. Safeties are rangy, they're fast, they're downhill in the run game, and so they're a really talented defense. And like I said earlier, their D coordinator does a good job, and they do a good job of executing, what they do. Now the challenge is to get familiar with what they do and go out there and execute our plan.
There you have it, an amazing atmosphere at Lavelle Edwards Stadium here tonight. The Cougars licking their wounds. BYU fans will be doing all that they can to get their team back on the right track, and all of that makes for a difficult night ahead for the Frogs. Elvis, as we turn to you for your third and final key tonight.
Yeah, I think it's play together, fellas. I mean, I think after last week's just heartbreaking loss, you got to think that I'm looking at these captains, how they step up. Bud Clark, Colton Deary, Josh Hoover, Chase Curtis, Devin Deal. I'm sure they've already had a lot to say this week, how they rallied the guys, but I'm watching them. There has to be a calm and a confidence of their message, a consistent message. They have to be the ones speaking up, talking, getting excited when other guys make a play. A lot is on them. They're the captains that have to bring this group together, and they can show up in a big spot. They did it last year. I felt like against Texas Tech was a big game that they showed up. They had a couple of games where they showed up in a big spot. Tonight is one of those that I want to see this leadership step up and bring this team together.
I love that. And with the last word on what the Frogs have to do to be successful, let's turn back to Marshall Newhouse.
Listen, TCU has only scored 20 points the last 2 weeks. We can throw all the stats out we want. That one bears a heavy load, but ultimately none of that matters. I want TCU to be the hammer and not the nail. I want them to be the aggressor tonight, and whatever way that looks like. If it's on the ground, if it's in the air, it's an attitude, it's a mindset. And what better place to do it, to take the crowd out of it early than in Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Night game, they're riled up. We saw Kalani Sitake walking through the stadium pregame, bumping music and all kind of stuff. What better feeling than to completely take the air out of a stadium like this?
Yeah, and Sonny Dykes knows that starting fast against this group will go a long way.
It's going to be really important. I mean, it's always important, but it's going to be particularly important anytime you play on the road. You just have to, you got to settle in more quickly than we have offensively. We've got to do a better job early in the game of stringing some plays together and getting some drives and scoring points. It's going to be really important for us to do that early in the game this week for sure.
Yeah, I think we'll get an idea here early on how the Frogs are ready for this one against the BYU Cougars. TCU sits at 6-3 overall, 3-3 in Big 12 action. BYU, they're 8-1, 5-1 in the league. Frogs and the Cougars set to meet here shortly. There you have it, folks. Insight from the experts as the Frogs get ready to face the Cougars. We got the starting lineups, opening kickoff coming your way next after this timeout and a word from frogs2ireland.com.
Hey TCU fans, are you looking for that perfect holiday gift for that special horned frog in your life? Look no further than an unforgettable trip to the 2026 Aer Lingus College Football Classic in Dublin, Ireland. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see the Horned Frogs on the Emerald Isle. This year, give the gift of Ireland and make memories that will last a lifetime. Visit frogs2ireland.com for more information on official hotel and hospitality packages. That's frogs2ireland.com.
At Frost, we believe in going the extra mile like opening more locations to be a part of more communities. Overdraft grace, which means no fee if you overdraw your Frost Personal or Frost Plus account by $100 or less. And the little things like cookies, coffee, or that time when there was a fire at a Fort Worth daycare and Frost Bankers entertained 26 kids with snacks and games until their parents could pick them up. That actually happened. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletic season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Throws it down, privilege picked off. Right away, the Horned Frogs create the turnover, and that's Bud Clark.
This is Bud Clark, and you're listening to TCU Football on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Horned Frog fans, want to give your kids the ultimate football experience at TCU? Well, create a memory they'll cherish forever as you join us for a chance to be a part of TCU's Bleacher Creatures and run out onto the field pregame with the Frogs. Just show up 20 minutes before kickoff at the Southeast Scoreboard, and your kids will get to run with America's favorite mascot, Super Frog, onto the field. All kids who participate get a free Frogs jersey, courtesy of Cook Children's. See you game day at the Carter, and don't forget to bleed purple.
Hey, Frog fans. Alex Yak here, Frog Club's Deputy Athletic Director for Development. Are you a casual Horned Frog fan? It's time to go pro. Frog Club membership is your all-access pass. Enjoy exclusive events, priority points, and early access to all things TCU. Support our student athletes from the stands and by fueling their success beyond the field. Cheer loud on Saturday. Stand behind them every day. Become a member at tcufrogclub.com or call 817-257-7700.
Championship game and a potential spot in the college football playoff likely rest on a win here tonight over the Frogs, who again are looking to play spoiler. Dave Shook with you here inside the Moritz Studios as we take a check of the Coors Light scoreboard, starting first with one game in progress right now going on in Waco, where 13th ranked Utah likewise hoping to keep themselves in the mix for a spot in the college football playoff in the Big 12 championship game on the road in Waco, taking on the Baylor Bears. And this one has been all Utah pretty much, as backup quarterback Bird Ficklin has run the ball 5 times for, get this, 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Utah has also taken advantage of a couple of interceptions by Baylor quarterback Sawyer Robertson. They've got themselves a 49-26 lead with about 8 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter in Waco. Everything else in the Big 12 is final from earlier today, including 6th-ranked Texas Tech, who was at home hosting UCF, with the Red Raiders coming off the biggest win in recent program history a week ago when they ended previously unbeaten BYU's unbeaten run this season. The Red Raiders could have been in line for a letdown today against the Knights, but it was running back Cameron Dickey who made sure that wouldn't be the case.
1st and 10, handoff Dickey, coming left, has a huge hole, touchdown Red Raiders, and just like that, Texas Tech is on the board.
Brian Jensen from Learfield and the Red Raider Sports Network with the call there. Part of a dominant first half for Texas Tech, who outscores UCF 38-2 in the first half, goes on to win it 48-9. Dickey finishes with 11 carries for 77 yards and 2 scores, as Texas Tech now with a record of 10-1 on the year, 7-1 in the Big 12 Conference, with all 10 wins coming by at least 22 points this season. Other games in the Big 12 final from earlier today, including an upset in the Queen City, where Arizona quietly continues to be one of the best teams in the Big 12 Conference this season. 7-3 on the year now after a 30-24 win over 25th-ranked Cincinnati on the road in the Queen City. And then also a final from Stillwater, where Kansas State held off a challenge from Oklahoma State today, getting a late touchdown from quarterback Avery Johnson to win it 14-6 to keep the Cowboys winless in Big 12 play. Meanwhile, Kansas State very quietly is back to even at 5-5 on the season. And then Arizona State, despite playing with quarterback Jeff Sims in the game after their starting quarterback Sam Levitt was lost for the season with a foot injury, held on to beat West Virginia after the Mountaineers charged back late in this one in Tempe. But ultimately, the Sun Devils win it 25-23 to keep their hopes to defend their Big 12 championship alive in this one. Then we move to the top 25, couple of games to get you caught up on, including a good one in Oxford in the SEC, where 7th-ranked Ole Miss at 9-1 on the year hosting the Florida Gators today, just 3-6 on the season. Gators have led this game most of the way, but quarterback for the Rebels, Trinidad Chambliss just threw a touchdown pass for Ole Miss to get them in front in this one. 27-24 is the score with 2:53 left to play in the ball game, with the Rebs trying to keep themselves in the mix for an SEC title game appearance. And also in the SEC, a top 10 matchup between the Hedges in Athens, where 5th-ranked Georgia has a 14-10 lead over 10th-ranked Texas right now as they hit the end of the third quarter in Athens in that one. But earlier on today, the game everybody was talking about, 3rd-ranked Texas A&M, one of 3 remaining unbeaten teams in the country, hosting South Carolina, just 3-6 on the year. Texas A&M trailed this game at the break 30-3, but in the second half, it was all A&M as quarterback Marcel Reed led the Aggies back, but still needed one score late in the ball game to get back out in front.
Run to the right side, run into the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies. We are tied. E.J. Smith, 99-yard drive.
Andrew Monaco from Learfield and the Aggie Sports Network with the call as Texas A&M outscores South Carolina 28-0 in the second half. Rallies back to win it 31-30 to stay unbeaten on the season at 10-0, 7-0 in the SEC. Quarterback Marcel Reed, excellent second half for him. Finishes with 439 yards passing and 3 touchdowns in the win. And then a couple of other games in the top 25 to get you caught up on as 11th-ranked Oklahoma for the second straight season knocks off the Crimson Tide of Alabama, this time doing it in Tuscaloosa. 23-21, despite finishing with less than 250 yards of total offense. 9th-ranked Notre Dame, also a road winner today over a ranked opponent as they beat 22nd-ranked Pitt 37-15 as the Irish continue to march their way toward a college football playoff berth. And then in a driving rainstorm, 17th-ranked USC storms back to knock off 21st-ranked Iowa at home today at the Coliseum 26-21. So that's a check of the Coors Light scoreboard on a busy night around college football. But now the eyes of the college football world, well, they turn to Provo and Lavelle Edwards Stadium as the Horned Frogs and BYU get set to kick it off here in just a few moments. It's football time in Provo coming up here in just a moment.
Hit the horn.
Here's Hoover, throws play action. Now he's going to fire it out. Penalty marker comes in, up to make the grab. If it stands, touchdown. Jordan Dwyer hit the horn here.
On the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield.
At the 4, Hoover to throw it. Little pop pass over the middle, caught, touchdown. That's Eric McAllister hauling it in. 8th touchdown reception of the year.
It's football time in Texas. TCU football is on the air. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Also by Fort Worth-owned La Pulga, the official tequila of the Horned Frogs. Made with 100% agave and 0 additives.
Hey, TCU!
Give them hell, TCU.
Go Frogs. Kickoff is moments away.
Now with the call of the game, here's the best broadcast team in Texas. Elvis Gallegos, Marshall Newhouse, and the voice of the Frogs, Brian Estridge.
Live from Lavelle Edwards Stadium at the base of the Wasatch Mountains and right in the heart of the BYU campus, we come to you from Provo, Utah, which is 1,200 miles from America's greatest city, Fort Worth, Texas, for this Big 12 showdown between the 12th-ranked BYU Cougars, who are 8-1 overall, 5-1 in league play, and the 6-3 Horned Frogs, who are 3-3 in conference action. We'll get to the starting lineups here shortly. First, though, we got a Big 12 officiating crew administering our coin toss, and we're going to listen in to our referee, Tutas Salam, who's down there with the captains for both teams. Let's listen in.
The side with the Big 12 logo is heads. The side with the team logos is tails. Josh, what is your call?
Tails.
Tails is the call. It is a tail. You want to toss?
Defer.
You want to defer? That means you want the ball, right? Which way do you want to kick? Perfect. Stay right there. TCU has won a toss, elected to defer. BYU will receive. Gentlemen, have a great game.
All right, we'll see the Frogs defense out to start this one. BYU trots the offense out there after the Horned Frogs win the toss, but defer it. to the second half. Horned Frogs, by the way, in a new uniform combo here tonight. The black pant with the white jersey, purple numerals, and the black hat with the purple face mask here tonight. BYU in their traditional white pants with the blue piping along the side, royal blue jersey with the white numeral, and the white hat with that royal blue Y alongside here for this one. As we get set for this meeting between TCU and BYU, which will be the 13th all-time in the series, as the Horned Frogs lead it with 7 wins, 5 to the Horned Frogs. Or excuse me, 5 to the Cougars, I should say. 5-4 in conference games. TCU with the advantage here over BYU. We'll talk more about that as the night goes on. Out to kick it off for TCU will come Nate McCashlin. McCashlin has it teed up at the 35. Back deep for BYU. They'll send Tiger Bachmeier along with Enoch Nawahani. Bachmeier stands at the end zone. Full house, as you might expect, here at LaVell Edwards Stadium. Beautiful night in Provo. It has been a beautiful 2 days here for the Horned Frogs in preparation of this one. McCashlin, foot to leather. We're underway in Big 12 action tonight. Bachmeier brings it out 5 yards deep, 5, 10, 15, and up to the 21-yard line where he's knocked down there. The Horned Frogs on the tackle, get him down. And we'll see BYU's offense to start this ball game. On the stop, Michael Thiessen, reserve defensive linebacker for the Horned Frogs. Isaiah Chata starts at left tackle. Waylon Lapuaho at left guard. Bruce Mitchell's the center. Austin Leoso is the right guard. And Andrew Gentry is the right tackle. They average 6'5.5", 312 across the front for Bear Bachmeier. Terrific freshman quarterback who's got L.J. Martin in the backfield. They'll get to Martin, trying to bounce it out. Right, Frogs string it out and get him out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain. Bachmeier, the freshman out of Murrieta, California, transferred from Stanford. Of course, his brother was a quarterback at Boise. He's a great player there. And as a true freshman here, has stepped in and thrown for 1,881 yards, 12 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions. He's also run for another 420 and 9 TDs. 2 receivers to the right, bring a man in motion. This time they'll give it to Martin again right up the middle. And LJ's going to move that pile forward to about the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. That'll bring up third down now. Third down along 3. Jamel Johnson on the tackle. Martin, that running back, the junior out of El Paso. 824 yards, 5 touchdowns on the season. They're without their speedster at wideout, Cody Hagan, but they're still solid at wide receiver. Chase Roberts, probably their best one. 6'4", 210, just down the road in American Fork, Utah. We'll see Parker Kingston, Tiger Bachmeier, the brother of Bear as well, JoJo Phillips, and Tay Nakua. Here's Bachmeier, left-hand side, firing it out. Chase Roberts, that guy we told you about, comes up with a catch that time. Bud Clark was in coverage. It's a tough matchup, by the way, because Clark is going to be giving up about 4 inches all afternoon long here.
Well, that height won't matter if they get wide-open receivers like that. BYU lines up with a kind of an overload look to the left and does a little sprint out to the left. TCU doesn't have numbers on that side, and they're in man coverage. They get a nice little throw and catch for a first down.
Here's Bachmeier out of the shotgun now. First down and 10 from the 33-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left-hand side. Man in motion across the formation. Hand it back, running left with it is Martin, and the Frogs get him bottled up immediately. Actually loses a yard on the play. Ansel Dinpu on the tackle. Carson Ryan is the tight end for BYU. We'll also see Noah Mohia. He's a freshman out of American Fork as well. 2 big ones at tight end. Get to the Frog defense here shortly. 2nd and 12 right now for BYU. Opening drive of this ball game. No score between TCU and the Cougars. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right-hand side now. Bachmeier operating out of the shotgun. Frogs have 5 linemen up across the front. Caleb Elarm-Zor coming late. They'll throw it in the flat left. Catch is made up to the 35 and out of bounds there. On the receiving end that time was Parker Kingston, junior out of Layton, Utah, played at Roy High School. That is Vernon Glover on the hit. It's 3rd down now for Bachmeier. 3rd down and 7. And this is where they've struggled a bit. 3rd downs have not been great for BYU offensively this year, Marshall.
Neither have they been for TCU, so this might be a matchup. We'll see who can kind of show up tonight. But right there, they went empty. You're going to have to always look for Bear Bachmeier as running the football, even when they're in empty, but TCU does a nice job pursuing the wide receiver screen.
93rd in the country on converting third down. Throw it upfield for this one. That is a conversion across midfield. Running with this one is Kingston to the left, across the 40 and into TCU territory near the 34-yard line. That's Parker Kingston. Bachmeier put it right on the numbers. Vernon Glover finally got him down. It's a gain of 30 to open this ball game.
And that is who this offense is. Bear Bachmeier is not a drop back, pass the ball 40 times quarterback. They're going to roll him out. They're going to slice the field in half, let him use his legs. And if guys are sitting in zone like that, and he's going to chew you up. TCU has got to be better on the edges, and they've got to be better in pursuit.
Tristan Johnson in at one defensive tackle spot right now, as is Marcus Deal. Paul Uyawale at one defensive end. Jonathan Bax is at the other. Caleb Elarms-Orr and Nambi Obieyes are the linebackers. Bachmeier play action screen set up left. Martin handles it. Does not handle it cleanly after the second carom off his hands, able to haul it in, but met immediately at the line of scrimmage by Vernon Glover. It'll bring up second down and 10. We've called Glover's name a couple of times here tonight. He's playing one of the corner spots along with Channing Canada. Jamel Johnson, Bud Clark, Austin Jordan are your safeties.
Yeah, they're going to make your corners come up to the line of scrimmage and tackle.
Yep.
Vernon Glover off to a really good start there. That was a play-action deep shot, faking the deep shot, throwing a screen underneath. Luckily for the bobble there, TCU had enough time to recover and pursue.
Yeah, L.J. Martin, that running back. Aaron Roderick, by the way, is the offensive coordinator for BYU. Let's see what he calls here on 2nd and 10 of the Frog 34. Bachmeier over the middle, incomplete. A ball may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. Chase Roberts was the intended target. Frogs may have gotten a hand on that one, and now it's third down and long for BYU.
Really good awareness by the defensive lineman. It wasn't Deal. I think it was, it was Deal. Deal kind of came around on a stunt, a late stunt. He was way far away from the quarterback and just gets his hands up. And even that little bitty tip prevents the slant out of empty there.
Third down and 10 now at the 34 of the Frogs. They check the play defensively with Andy Avalos, the defensive coordinator. Shift the tight end from left to right. Now Mahaney in the backfield. Bachmeier to throw it, bring the pressure late. Bachmeier over the middle's got a man breaking free between the defenders, and he dropped it. That would have been 6 if Parker Kingston could hang on. Frogs were closing late. Bachmeier with a nice throw. Falls incomplete. 4th down. BYU will have to settle for 3.
Kingston was just wide open. There's nothing else to say about that. I don't know if that was a blown coverage, but he put the ball right on the money. Bear Bachmeier did. He's got to come down with that. TCU rolling the dice there. Comes out on the positive end. BYU line up for a field goal.
Huge break that time, Elvis. We'll talk about it after this field goal attempt. From 52 yards out, Will Farron will try it. He's a senior out of Kaysville, Utah, transfer from Boise State. Vanderhaar, the normal punter, will hold this one. Snapping it back is Garrison Grimes, the right footer from the left hash, got plenty of leg on it, and it is good. BYU from 52 yards out on the field goal converts. They strike first here. Elvis defensively, that was a bust, was it not? I mean, you had a guy running free down the middle of the field with a great throw. Frogs just fortunate he dropped it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he dropped it because he typically makes those plays. From what it looked like, Jamel Johnson might have been cheating to his right side where I think Chase Roberts was, maybe kind of keying on him a little bit too much. But Austin Jordan's got to do a better job, or maybe it was Bud Clark, sorry, somebody on the back end. I couldn't tell if it was 2 or 21. But Austin Jordan's got to carry him a little deeper. He let him go too early. That's where it opened up in the secondary.
Frost Bank is a proud sponsor of TCU Athletics. From accounts to advice, get exactly what you need with the unexpected level of care you deserve. Frost, exactly what you unexpected. BYU strikes first. They lead at 3-0 on the Horned Frogs. Back we come to Provo after this local timeout here on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield. Imagine blowing the frog horn, or getting exclusive pregame Moncrief Field access, or touring the press box, plus snapping photos with the Spirit members. Well, these are all part of the TCU game day experiences. To grab these premier opportunities, download the Riff Ram app or head to gofrogs.com/experiences. Remember, they go on sale every Monday of game week. Don't get that FOMO feeling. Be right in the middle of game day and bleed purple.
TCU Athletics goes beyond the field and court. It fuels Fort Worth's economy. Game days bring a flood of fans and fresh eyes to our city, boosting local businesses, creating jobs, and cultivating community spirit. TCU Athletics supports over 2,000 jobs and brings over $400 million to our state each year. It's more than a game. It's a driving force for economic growth. Support the Horned Frogs and witness the power of purple. TCU. Lead on with impact.
Kickoff's out in the back of the end zone. The Horned Frogs are going to start for the 25-yard line. First down at 10. Hoover at quarterback. Flushed, rolls, and fires left. Tried to fire it underneath, and it's incomplete. Had a man open. Jordan Dwyer would have been a gain of 9. Dwyer could not hang onto it. It'll bring up second down now. Second down and 10. Josh Hoover at quarterback. With the glove on the hand again. 3 receivers to the right. 2 to the left-hand side. No, Hoover does not have the glove. Throws it over the middle and is caught at the 40-yard line. We thought Josh would be wearing the glove.
It's on his left.
Is it on his hand? It's on his left hand this year, or this game, I should say.
Yeah, we were wondering, we might have had a finger injury. He seems to have talked about it this week that it's not a problem. So he's put the glove on his left hand, maybe for just ball handling off the shotgun snap. That first couple of passes had some zip on him. First one was incomplete. Second one was a dime to Jordan Dwyer. Yeah,
and it converts the first down to the 40-yard line. That one goes for 15 yards. By the way, the scoring drive for BYU previously, they get the 52-yard field goal. 10 plays, 45 yards, 4:33 off the clock on the opening drive for BYU. They lead at 3-0. Frogs with it now, first down at 10. That's the first score, by the way, on an opening drive against TCU since the opener against North Carolina. 8 straight stops for the Frogs prior to that. Trent Battle in the backfield. Hoover changing the play. Crowd is into it here in Provo. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left-hand side. Going to hand it off Battle. Trent, not much there. Line of scrimmage, that's all. It'll bring up second down and 10. And that was a big stop by the defensive tackle, Keanu Tanavasu. Able to haul him down. It'll bring up second and 10 now. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left again. Hoover out of the gun. Frogs trying to work with some tempo against this noise. Hoover with time over the middle. High but caught. Manjack goes up, brings it down. At the 40-yard line of BYU. That's a good throw, but an even better catch by Manjack. Tyner Wall was in coverage. It goes for 20.
Really solid catch by Manjack. You can tell this entire season Josh Hoover trusts him over the middle. Gloves or not. It was a really accurate football. TCU's moving.
Yeah, he's got it on the left hand, not the right tonight. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left-hand side. Hoover threw it behind his intended target, Manjack, who slipped down. It'll bring up second down now, second and 10. In coverage that time was the nickel back out of Euless, Jonathan Cabella.
Yeah, a couple plays ago, Josh Hoover was originally under center. He saw something he didn't like. That's the kind of freedom that Kendall Browns allows him. He checks into gun, but then they run a pin and pull scheme, and BYU stops it. But it sounds like they're going to get into the best play tonight and try to really control the ball.
Second down now. Frogs with a tight formation, 2 receivers to the right. Hoover fakes the toss, flings it out in the right flat, and just threw that one away. He wanted Major Everhart in the flat. Covered up nicely by BYU. They got pressure up the middle that disrupted things and forced Hoover to get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, it was pressure on the edge by Isaiah Glasker, but really just know where to go with that ball. That's what you do. You just get rid of it. Sometimes plays don't work. You don't force it. You don't put the ball in harm's way, and here's TCU with a 3rd and long on the plus side of the field.
They'll huddle up. Kendall Browse sends it in. Defensively, Jay Hill, the coordinator for BYU, trying to match wits with Browse. They'll go empty set, 5 wide, 3 to the right, 2 to the left-hand side. Frogs, 3rd down at 10 for the 41. Rush forward does BYU. Pocket breaks down. Josh avoids. Rolls to his right. Needs some help. Looking downfield and has to eat it. At the 43-yard line, he's going to go out of bounds there. Does Josh. That'll be a loss of 2 on the play to bring up 4th down. The Frogs are going to be forced to punt it here on their opening set.
I got to say something. We've talked about this in the lore of the TCU Horned Frogs playing in Provo. There have been multiple receivers slipping already on this turf. Eric McAllister that time trying to redirect while Hoover was scrambling, slips and falls. TCU's cleat situation might be a storyline tonight.
Yeah, we'll talk about that with Elvis. He walked the field yesterday and today. Parker Kingston's back deep. Ethan Crawl, end over end punt. Kingston's going to watch it hit at the 11, take a bit of a TCU bounce down to the 9. Nice job there by Crawl. 34-yard effort, 4.1 on the hang time, and now BYU will have the football at the 9-yard line. One thing that we did not get to in that opening drive because they were working so quickly was a little shuffle along the offensive line that we wanted to talk about. Left tackle was Ben Taylor Whitfield. Cade Bennett was at left guard. Colton Deary started at center. But in this game tonight, folks, Cooper Powers starting at right guard, the sophomore out of Danville, California, and then Carson Bruno making his first start at right tackle, the senior out of Shreveport. Marshall, what'd you see so far?
Everything looked pretty good there so far. We'll have to kind of see as the game progresses and he settles in. That's a tough transition from guard to tackle. He's going to need a little bit to adjust.
L.J. Martin in the backfield stands to the right of the quarterback. Bachmeier flushed, rolling to his right, wearing number 47, throws it upfield. Catch is made at the 23-yard line. It's enough for a first down. That's JoJo Phillips coming back to grab that one against his TCU defense. That goes for 15 for the sophomore out of Lancaster, California.
And as you've noticed, Bear Bachmeier, 3 of his 4 big passes have come outside of the pocket. That is his strength. He is a really great athlete. TCU is going to have to really plaster. They call it plastering on the edge, where defensive backs have to be on the hip of the receivers. It's easier said than done.
That was Channing Canada in coverage that time for the Horned Frogs. Wide to the left will come Kingston. 2 receivers to the right-hand side now. Bachmeier to throw it again on play action. Plenty of time. Wanted to go deep. Instead, he's going to tuck it and run. With room, dives across the 35. Ball shoots out as he dives forward. Now he'll cover it up at the 48. They'll say he's down back at the 37 after a 13-yard gain. That's where Bear Bachmeier is at his best.
Listen, he is a linebacker wearing 47 at 6'2", 230 pounds. When he decides to put his head down and run, he can get there fast and in a hurry. TCU didn't even have anybody spying him. We'll see how that goes as the game goes on, but that is an imminent threat tonight with Bear Bachmeier at quarterback.
All right, Elvis, give me a quick read on what you're seeing defensively right now.
Well, you're also seeing some DB slip. I think Channing Canada did slip as well coming out of that break on that comeback route, but also Bear Bachmeier is just getting to the edge. That time it just makes a play. So now you see TCU changing some personnel.
Extra lineman in right now for BYU. Snap in the C, I think.
BYU takes the first charge timeout of the half.
And fans here are going to boo, and none of us like this, but BYU had substituted. The Frogs were allowed to substitute as well. Guys ran on the field. Play clock's winding down. Kalani Sitake had to take a timeout.
Listen, them's the rules, as they say. Right. TCU, on the defense, when you see that happen, you see coaches kind of urge players to kind of take your time, don't run. TCU was running guys on the field, off the field. They weren't trying to game the system. They were just getting their fair share. Ultimately, that cost BYU a timeout.
Timeout here with 6:43 to play in this opening quarter. It's 3-0 right now. BYU with the early lead on the Horned Frogs, their second offensive set of the game. Back we come after this timeout. And a word from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas.
You can actually do well by doing good. I'm Jim Springfield, president of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas. Texas is an independently spirited state. That gives Blue Cross the ability to provide unique services for the unique needs of Texans. I think letting that feed into the products and services we offer is culturally appropriate. You can have the assurance that we're going to continue to be progressive when it comes to meeting Texans' health needs.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
The Toyota Trucks Game Day sales event is on, and there's no one key to victory. You need strength, power, agility, the team that shows up ready to win. And Toyota Trucks, they bring the full roster. Kick off the season with big savings at the Toyota Trucks Game Day sales event.
Toyota is a proud sponsor of TCU Athletics. Fear the frog and fuel the power in a Tundra or Tacoma. Built to take you wherever the road leads. Find yours today.
Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
Your Barbasol shave is a time for self-reflection. Look in that mirror and ask yourself, can I make a real difference in this world? Of course you can. Just not today. The big game is on. Barbasol. It's a can of can-do.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
First time the Horned Frogs have faced a ranked opponent since 2023 here tonight against number 12 BYU. trailing at 3-0. Let me go back to a comment we were talking about earlier on. We've seen a couple of receivers slip down. Maybe you even seen a DB or two fall down as well. Elvis, you had a chance to walk this field yesterday and today. Give me some sense of what you see on this natural grass surface at LaVell Edwards Stadium.
Well, it's longer than the grass at Fort Worth, I can tell you that much. And that's something Marshall and I talked about. There's always rumors that they would grow it out a little bit so you get a little thicker and slow team down. I think it is a little slick, though. That's one thing that I noticed even in pregame. Some guys had a tough time kind of catching their footing, and so you just, as a DB, you just got to keep your feet a little closer. You don't need to bail out of there so fast, but yeah, a little surprised. Just early in this game, you see so many guys slipping.
Hey, by the way, how loud is it down there, Elvis?
Man, it is the loudest. I'll tell you, this is the loudest environment the Frog played in this year. This place is rocking tonight.
First down and 10 now for BYU. They operate from the 37. They're on 37 here with 6:43 to play this opening quarter. Bring a man in motion. Bachmeier keeps it right up the middle, and Bear is going to get it to about the 41-yard line. That's going to be 4. It'll bring up second down and 6 now. Tristan Johnson on the stop, getting more and more playing time at that defensive tackle spot now as Tristan, the redshirt freshman out of Hearst, played at LD Bell High School.
In this offense with a little jet motion there, they use that kind of as a read with Bear Bachmeier as a running option. They have so many options out of the shotgun because of Bear Bachmeier's legs. TCU has a lot to account for on defense.
Second down and 6 now. Bachmeier with one back in. It's L.J. Martin behind him. No, they bring in Namahini now at running back, and it's going to be Bachmeier throwing it over the middle. Catch here at the 47, up to the 48-yard line goes Reggie Freshnick. He's a sophomore who we thought we might see here tonight due to the injury to Cody Hagan, their speedster. He grabs that one for 7 and a first down.
BYU, again, just sitting down in these TCU zones, really good awareness by their receivers, finding the soft spot, and Bear Bachmeier has put the ball on the money. This is not his calling card, but he absolutely has the ability. That is not what they leaned on, but tonight the routes are open.
Here's L.J. Martin in the backfield. Play action for Bachmeier. Bear with it, looks to the right-hand side, throws it in the flat. L.J. breaks out of one tackle, still on his feet, through the arms of Caleb Elarms-Orr, and up for another first down to the 40-yard line of the Horned Frogs now. That one goes for 12 on that receiving connection between Bachmeier and his back, L.J. Martin.
Yeah, just a missed open tackle there. Bear Bachmeier checks the ball down to L.J. Martin. Kylan Jackson, who plays with a lot of aggression, a lot of speed, doesn't break down and really tries to arm tackle L.J. Martin, and missed the tackle for an extended game.
First down at 10 now at the 40. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left-hand side, 1 back in. Bachmeier brings another one into the fold, hands it off to him, running to his left. That's Martin. Bounces it out left 35. L.J. hauled down as he gets to the 42-yard line. Channing Canada in the open field makes a tackle, but that's another 8 yards on first down. That makes your third downs a little easier to deal with when you're struggling in that category.
Absolutely. TCU brought pressure off the edge. They had extra defenders in the box, as Elvis talked about pregame, but the run lanes are there for L.J. Martin, and he is exploding through and keeping BYU ahead of schedule on this drive.
I would say they haven't even gotten a third down yet on this drive. L.J. Martin in the backfield now, 2nd and 2, stands directly behind Bachmeier. Receivers to either side, fake to give. No, they do hand it off to Martin. He'll get the first down as he works himself inside the 29 to the 28. That's a pickup of 4. Moves the chains again here for BYU. Elarms-Orr and Obi Izor, the linebackers, on the stop here for the Horned Frogs. 1st and 10 now as they work close to that red zone. Does BYU. 5 first downs already for the Cougars on this drive, and they haven't seen third down yet. Clock runs with 3:50 to play in the opening quarter. Wide right goes JoJo Phillips. Namahini in the backfield. Shifts from left to right now. Bachmeier takes the snap, fakes the toss inside. They flip it instead to Kingston, trying to turn the corner, and he does inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Parker Kingston that time goes for 9 yards. Vernon Glover on the tackle, and it's 2nd down and 1. And I like the way that Aaron Roderick's calling this game right now for BYU.
A really clever end around there, but Parker Kingston runs underneath Bear Bachmeier, so that's technically a forward pass, but still functions all the same. It's a misdirection. It makes a team that is a fast flow defense really think twice and stay home, and TCU was not there. 2nd down now,
2nd and 1. Bachmeier in the shotgun this time. 1 back stands to his right. Kingston across the formation. Bachmeier keeps for the first down and more. Inside the 15, down to the 11-yard line. This is a quarterback, by the way, who's got 289 yards after contact coming into this ball game. Ran through 2 defenders there for 8 and a first down.
He's just a really big guy, and he punishes you as a runner. You wonder how long that can last, but so far he's a young guy, a lot of energy, and he really makes you account for him on defense. And so far TCU has been behind the 8 ball on every running play.
They've been fairly balanced as well. They've got 6 first downs on this drive, 3 run, 3 pass. Kingston in motion this time. They're going to give it to Parker. Parker again trying to get to the edge. He does. Turns the corner at the 5 and scores. Makes up for that missed reception earlier with a sprint to the corner. Beat the Frogs there. Scores from 11 yards out, and it's 9-0 BYU with 2:13 to play here in this first quarter, I should say.
And BYU seems to have found something in Parker Kingston and running sideline to sideline. Yes, they've had some runs up the middle with LJ Martin and Barrett Bachmeier, but Parker Kingston now multiple times has caught plays that are going laterally and outrun TCU's contained defenders. Just a tough look so far for TCU on defense.
Yeah, Will Farron out for the point after to make this a 10-0 game. It is up and it is good. Elvis, it's as if BYU thinks that their speed might be an advantage here tonight against TCU. I don't know that we've ever said that.
Yeah, that's a good call right there. I just think it was a clinic by Roderick. I mean, he got to the outside, he got inside, he was just completely had the defense, TCU defense on their heels. They do got some speed, but they're beating you inside. TCU was changing personnel. I don't think their fits were really good. TCU's got to get to the sideline, got to get on the same page, calm down a little bit because that was an awful series. Got to move on.
Kohl's has the back-to-school styles that spoil them at prices that spoil you. From jeans and tees to sneakers and more, which means you can do it all without overdoing your budget when you shop at Kohl's at Kohls.com. Timeout on the field. 2:13 left, opening quarter. 10-0 BYU leads it here on the Horned Frogs. And back we come to Provo after this local timeout here on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield.
Fatherless boys face a troubled future. At Hope Farm, we guide at-risk boys to become Christ-centered men of integrity so families are strengthened and the cycle of fatherlessness is broken. At Hope Farm, we're a leadership program nurturing boys through high school with a life plan, accountability, and collaboration with parents and teachers to create lasting change. You can help support, volunteer, or give, and be part of our mission to build a stronger future for these young men and their families. Learn more at hopefarm.org.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes on TCU's campus is having a tremendous impact in the lives of coaches and athletes at TCU. They're impacting their lives through weekly Bible studies, mentorship, one-on-one weekly discipleship. TCU FCA is not only helping our coaches and athletes to be champions in their particular sport, but more importantly, they're helping them be champions in life. To learn more about FCA, go to tcufca.org to have a lasting impact in students and coaches at TCU.
2:13 to play in this first quarter. BYU with a 10-0 lead right now. Brian Estridge, Marshall Newhouse, Elvis Gallegos along the sidelines here at Lavelle Edwards Stadium in Provo. Spotters Wayne Gossard, statistician is Brian Sperry. Blake Jones is in with us tonight. Appreciate him being here as our producer-engineer. 10 plays, 91 yards, 6:02 off the clock. 11-yard run for Kingston. Only one opponent this season's had a longer, scoring drive against TCU. That was Baylor. They had 2. They had a 92-yarder and a 95-yarder. So right now the Horned Frogs find themselves down 10-0. If you had any question coming into this game what the attitude of BYU was going to be like, we talked to Carson Ryan, their tight end, earlier, and I think we got a good feel for what you're going to expect here tonight.
No one's stressing out. No one's freaking out. We're just, we'll just take the loss and take it on the chin and just move on. Like I've been saying, just, find ways to correct the things, the mistakes that we made, and just, like Kalani said, just round the wagons and just focus on ourselves and focus on each other, build each other up, keep that confidence in ourselves. We're still an 8-1 team, one of the best teams in the country, and we think that we can hang with anyone out there. And
yeah, that was after the loss to Texas Tech. They've come out here smoking early, up 10-0 on the Horned Frogs, our BYU, and Kalani Sitake's Cougars. Will Farron is out to kick it off now for BYU. Major Everhart back team for the Horned Frogs along with Jordan Bailey for TCU. These slow starts for the Frogs, nothing new. Here's Farron's kick. Everhart's going to watch it hit. In fact, you think about it, the last 5 games, it's taken the Frogs 20 minutes and 6 seconds on average to find the scoreboard. Can't go much longer here in this one, or it'll sneak away from you against a BYU team that you know can score in bunches.
It's just unfortunate. We've talked about that multiple times with TCU this season, getting off to slow starts. And slow starts aren't always having to do with points, because it can happen on offense and defense, but looking like they're settling into the game instead of attacking the game early on. I talked about being the hammer, not in the nail, and being aggressive. Well, that comes from setting the edge on defense, having your run keys as a linebacker, getting to into your routes at the right depth of receiver. All the details matter, but you do them aggressively, and you don't allow a team that's as good as BYU, because they are still a very good team, to dictate tempo. And that last drive was very indicative of dictating tempo. Not 1 third down in that last drive.
Right.
They're ahead of the chains. All credit to Aaron Roderick, offensive coordinator for BYU. They just had that TCU defense, as Elvis said, on their heels. Now TCU has a chance to do that on offense, but last drive it felt like BYU dictated more than TCU dictated.
Yeah, and you think about it, Elvis, this group right now, this Frog defense, you talked about it coming in. By the way, there's a timeout on the field, in case you're wondering. You talked about you wanted to see some leadership. Here's when that group responds right now. You're down 10-0 here early on, difficult place to play at BYU. You got to see a little something out of this leadership and this senior class, if anything else, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And I spent some time on the bench watching that defense, just kind of seeing their body language. Nobody seemed, to panic. I think that Bud Clark, as always, he's one of the more vocal ones. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. One thing to note, guys, is I'm not crazy about how much personnel changes. I know that there's things you want to, there's matchups that you like, but when you're changing so much on and off the field, and BYU's tempo was really good, it's hard to get in a rhythm. It's hard to see how they're moving. It's hard to kind of check and communicate well. I didn't like the run fits. I thought Namdi didn't get outside. I didn't think Austin Jordan at times kind of took it on with the right shoulders, different things like that, and that could happen when you sub too much out. So in my opinion, I like to see kind of the same group to get out there and get in a rhythm.
And you're talking about defensively.
Correct.
On the changes.
Yes.
Which we haven't seen a ton of this year from Andy Avalos, have we? It feels like we've seen guys playing the majority of the snaps, especially on the back end.
Yeah, we saw a little bit last week. I know that they wanted to use Max Carroll a little bit more instead of Austin Jordan, kind of played bigger against Iowa State. And I think they also leaked. It was a little leaky early on, and so they kind of went more base. So let's see if he kind of does the same thing here with in the third series.
All right, now the Frog offense will trot out there at the 25-yard line. They'll have it first down at 10 here against this BYU defense that before Texas Tech had gone 22 straight games in a row with a turnover. But again, we talk about that all the time, the importance of turnovers. The Frogs lose when they turn it over 3 times. As Sonny Dykes has pointed out time and time again, the 3 losses have seen TCU with 3 turnovers. But, this defense for BYU up until last week in a game where they lose against Texas Tech had been one that had been creating turnovers for Kalani Sitake. Sitake, a BYU guy. Kind of the perfect fit here, by the way. Is Kalani. 10th season here, 80-44 overall. Had 10-plus win seasons 3 times. Been to 7 bowl games. The first Tongan college football head coach is Kalani Sitake. He was a fullback, by the way, back in the day here. They played in the league for a while. Can you imagine tackling that guy?
Listen, he's still got the neck for it.
Yes, he does.
We can tell what he's built to do.
Yeah.
We saw him dancing before.
Yeah. Trent battles in the backfield now. Stands to the right of Josh Hoover. 2 receivers to the left, bring a man in motion. Manjack going to hand it off to Battle, and Battle's going to take it across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Longest run of the day for the Horned Frogs goes for 6 yards. Clock runs with 2:03 to go in this opening quarter. That's Max Alford on the tackle, by the way. Alford out of Park City, Utah. We had a chance to spend some time up there. Transfer from Utah State. Beautiful place. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left-hand side. Hoover pumps, now fires in traffic, almost picked off incomplete. Yeah, that pump should have been a dead giveaway. Don't throw it there. He was looking for Eric McAllister, and it went right through the hands of Evan Johnson, the corner. That's 3 straight incompletions for Josh Hoover, who has started this ball game 2 of 6 for 34 yards.
And sorry, Marshall, I was just about to say, there's those slants again, fellas. At some point, there's got to be some slant and go. I feel like teams are teeing off on and expecting those slants coming.
3rd down now. 4 wides, 2 to either side. Here's Hoover. Shifts his back. Battle. 4 down lineman come. Hoover tried to run for it, and he got nothing. 4th down. Frogs will be forced to punt it away again. 4th and 4. Akani on the tackle. 3rd down and 4 now from the 31-yard line.
And that was just a failed quarterback draw, and I like the call generally because Josh Hoover has not used his legs enough. We've talked about that. But in this instance, Colton Deary loses his feet a little bit there. There was just a really mucked up play, and just unfortunate for TCU, who was trying to mix things up. But again, giving the ball back to the BYU Cougars.
Now Crawl to punt it. Parker Kingston is back deep for BYU. Crawl, the lefty, on the run, kicks this one. Kingston, fair catch, signal for, made to the 25, and then he's run into. Was he pushed into the returner? I'm not sure. 45-yard effort. The officials will convene 4.2 on the hang time. They're going to call that incidental contact, I guess. He tried to pull up. Bounced off of him. I think that was Caden McFadden, and it was. No flag, though, so it'll be 1st and 10 for BYU at the 25-yard line. You know, that's one of those kind of play-on calls that you don't see enough of in college football sometimes.
You wish they would let them kind of continue on, you know.
There was no intent there.
No intent. A little Emmy salesman there by Kingston, a little flop.
1st and 10 now. BYU leads 10-0 with the football now with a minute to play here in this opening quarter. L.J. Martin in the backfield behind the quarterback. Snap comes back. They'll hand it off to Martin, running to his left with running room, and L.J. downhill will take it up to about the 34-yard line. That's 9 on 1st down. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Max Carroll on the tackle. Elvis, you talked in one of your keys about the importance of 3rd down. It might be the importance of 1st down defensively for the Horned Frogs.
Well, winning 1st down matters because you want to load a box. That's why I was hoping to see more run blitzes. I want to see kind of just win that down, force the 2nd and long, and obviously that situation, that didn't happen. 30 seconds left here in this opening quarter. 2nd down and 1. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left-hand side now. Out of the shotgun, Bachmeier hands it off. L.J. Martin takes it here to the 38. Still moving to pile forward. The rugby scrum across the 40 to the 42. Plenty for a 1st down there. Got a little help on the push from behind.
And BYU was just setting the line of scrimmage. There's no way else to put that. Their offensive line is moving TCU's defensive line a yard or 2 yards off the ball, and the running back, L.J. Martin mostly, is not being touched and is falling forward for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 yards. That's just not a way sustainably to play defense.
Frogs have been held scoreless now in the first quarter. 5 of the last 6 games. Timeout on the field as we get ready for 2nd quarter action. First quarter is in the books. BYU leads at 10-0 here on TCU. Back we come after this timeout. A word from Pepsi.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone, too, for my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family. Drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile. Thanks, Zoe. The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on Essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Ready for the start of the 2nd quarter here with the Horned Frogs down 10-0 right now to the BYU Cougars. We welcome you back into Provo, Utah. Look at the numbers in that first quarter. All BYU, 153 yards of total offense, 82 through the air, 71 on the ground. They had 10 first downs in that quarter to BYU. The Frogs, 3 yards on the ground, 34 through the air, 37 yards of total offense, and just 2 first downs to show for it here.
Well,
yeah.
That's a tough way to start. We talked about TCU trying to come out a little more aggressive, but you can't do that if you can't slow them down defensively on first and second down, and they haven't even come close to that now. There's a chance here for Andy Avalos, who's known for making adjustments, this team for adjusting and rebounding in the second quarter. This has been a time when they see the lights start to come on, but BYU's too good of a team to generally allow that way of playing football to happen. But you've got to keep fighting, keep adjusting. Guys keep battling, and they're inside the defensive line, the defensive ends. And then on the flip side, TCU's offense has got to sustain a drive and move some bodies, move some furniture, as we talked about. It's just a physicality thing that BYU is imposing on TCU right now.
Elvis, let me check in with you because I want to give you a number. First down plays for BYU, they're averaging 7.5 yards.
Yeah, I talked about stopping the run, loading the box, and winning on first down. That obviously hadn't happened. Look, the Frogs got to keep playing hard. You've got to weather this storm. These guys came out with their hair on fire after last week's defeat. The night game in Provo, this place is rocking. Keep playing hard. Find a way to make a play. All it takes is one, and it changes momentum. This is where I talk about playing together. Captain's got to step up. You're one play away from taking the momentum on your side.
First down and 10 here for BYU. They're on 42-yard line. Need a takeaway if they're on defense. That would kind of change the whole tenor of this thing, would it not?
That's what Elvis was alluding to. A takeaway here would be crucial. But even before that, you can make a big play by just doing your job and doing it really well.
In the backfield is L.J. Martin. Hand it off to him. Running to his right. Martin going to take it across midfield to the 49. That's 8 on first down. Bud Clark on the tackle.
And that's just a simple dive play. And again, right there, Devin Deal on the edge, on the defensive right edge for TCU, gets washed down. And there's no one there to take his spot. TCU's just not playing fundamentally sound when it comes to lanes and gap assignments. And BYU is capitalizing.
2nd and 1. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right-hand side. Now Mahini in the backfield, bring a man in motion as Kingston. Instead is Bachmeier keeping it right up the middle for the first down. They'll take it inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. This does not surprise anyone that BYU is going to be focused on the run game, right?
Definitely. They were really shut down and stymied last week against Texas Tech. And you knew as a rebound, Kalani Sitake's teams, after a big loss, really bounced back. And they were going to do it on the ground, being who they are, imposing physicality with the energy of the home crowd.
1st and 10 now at the 44. 13:58 to play. In this first half, BYU leads at 10-0 and try to add to it here on the Horned Frogs. In TCU territory at the 44. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right-hand side. Out of the shotgun now, works Bachmeier. Bachmeier looking left, throws it underneath, catch by Martin. Makes a man miss, keeps it inside the 35-30. And hit there by Channing Cannon to the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 18. Frogs defense here. Usually pretty good tacklers. That one got away from him, though. And now this
Lester was rotating a lot of guys in the secondary.
Yeah, a couple of new guys on that defensive backfield. Jordan Lester being one of those was in. Now Mahini in the backfield stands to the left now. Bachmeier. Snap comes back. Bachmeier going to hand it off. Running right up the middle. Now Mahini not much there. Maybe a yard or 2. 2nd and 8. Paul Oyewale on the tackle.
Waylon Lapuahu hobbling off the field right there. But TCU does a good job on first down, establishing the line of scrimmage and limiting the run. So now you put BYU in a situation where they don't have as many things at their disposal. Now you got to do it again. There's a reason we call these drives and not one play here, one play there. You got to put it together consistently.
2nd and 8. Carson Ryan, the tight ends in the slot to the left. Out of the shotgun, Bachmeier looking to that side. Going to throw the deep ball in the end zone. Too much on it. Incomplete. Pass intended for his brother, Tiger Bachmeier, the junior. Unable to haul that one in as 3rd down now, 3rd and 8.
That was good coverage there by TCU. He's right there in the hip pocket. Bachmeier, if you force him to make throws where it requires a lot of accuracy, that is not his strength. And so TCU, if they get in situations and passing situations and make him really thin the ball in there, that is to their advantage.
3rd down now, 3rd and 8. 2 receivers right, one to the left-hand side now. Backs to either side of the quarterback here. Bachmeier takes a snap, rolling to his right, fires it downfield, incomplete. And there's a whistle and a flag on Bud Clark. Parker Kingston was the intended target. Clark was on his back. Did he get there a little early? We get the benefit of replay.
That feels like really good coverage to me.
It really does.
Fellas, as he pulled the jersey, I think from behind, from the view, if you look from the end zone view, I think he pulled the jersey.
Number 21, defense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
Working in the red zone now is BYU's offense. They've been good in red zone play. 91% of the time they find the scoreboard here. That's 25th best in the country. 10-yard penalty. 1st and 10 now at the 14-yard line. Nawahini in the backfield. Bachmeier climbing under center. On the sprint left, they're going to get into Bachmeier. Penalty marker comes into the 5, and Tiger takes it down to the 2, where he took a shot, but this one might be coming back.
Holding, number 71, offense, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
So the 2 teams have now swapped penalties for the first time tonight. Jada, the left tackle, was the guilty party, Isaiah.
Again, that play's getting called back on the hold on Isaiah Jada, but again, BYU has found something on the edge here, running these jet sweeps. Yep. TCU is not playing contain well enough. They are really capitalizing on that, and they have a lot more speed than it feels like this defense was prepared for.
1st and 20 now, back at the 24-yard line. Three receivers to the left, 2 to the right. First time we've seen the empty set now for Bachmeier, and he's going to keep it right up the middle. The Frogs knew that, got him down. Nice job there defensively. You can kind of sense that. That's not necessarily their offense to go empty set 5 wide. Zach Chapman stayed home.
And that's always a threat there. Devin Deal does a good job pushing the pocket on his tackle on that quarterback draw, but that's always a threat with Bear Bachmeier when they go to these 5 wide sets for the defensive linemen to all have eyes and awareness of where he is.
2nd and 21. Sonny Dykes is not having, I can see him hollering to the official. Not sure what he was, might have been a clock issue there. 2nd and 21 now from the 25-yard line. Bachmeier, one back to his right. They twist up front, does TCU. Bachmeier plenty of time. Pop out the back. Nawahini out of the backfield. Hit him at the 17-yard line. They get about 8 of it back. 3rd down now, 3rd and long. 3rd and 12 here. At the 17 of TCU with 10:43 to play.
And that's okay. TCU with really good coverage makes Bear Bachmeier go to his 1st and then 2nd read, and then he has to check the ball down, which is a smart play. But if TCU, you'll take that all day, you rally and tackle, and make them continue to have to convert really critical moments.
They go to 3rd down for the first time since the first drive of the game. Bachmeier keeps running the option, turns it up to the 10, to the 5, touchdown. Faked the pitch to Martin, turned it upfield. No one had the quarterback. They race it and score. And BYU leads at 16-0 on the Horned Frogs now.
I think that's another one of those substitutions, fellas. I see Jordan Lester came in for Bud Clark. I think Jordan got inside. He never saw Bachmeier. He should have been the free player that could have made that, but he got stuck in all the trash and never gave himself a chance.
Elvis, you're absolutely right. He takes a really poor angle, but again, this is 3rd and long, and they're running the ball at Bear Bachmeier. He is always a threat out of the backfield.
Farron for the point after to make it a 17-0 ball game. Kick is up, and it is good. 10:16 left here in this first half. All BYU early, 17-0. They lead it on the Horned Frogs. Back after this local word on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield.
Looking for top talent? TCU is a magnet for the nation's brightest minds. After graduation, half of our students choose to stay and work right here in the Lone Star State, bringing their skills and passion to local businesses. Our graduates are making an impact, and they're ready to make a difference in your organization. Ready to connect with the best? Visit tcu.edu/hireafrog to learn more about how TCU talent can help your business thrive. TCU, lead on with impact.
Stay in the know with all things TCU athletics anytime, anywhere on your mobile device by downloading the RiffRam app. The RiffRam app is the official TCU athletics mobile app. With it, you get breaking news and score updates, plus live game play-by-play and game statistics with all of the info that you need on game day. Stay in the know with the RiffRam app. Download it today through the iTunes App Store or get it at Google Play and bleed purple.
Play drive for BYU, 75 yards, took 5:44 off the clock, 17-yard run for Bear Bachmeier. And now we've seen 3 consecutive 10-play scoring drives for BYU to open this ball game. They go up 17-0 right now on TCU. Brian Estridge, Marshall Newhouse, Elvis Gallegos with you. Our producer-engineer tonight is Blake Jones. Our statistician is Brian Spotter. Wayne Gossard for this one on a beautiful night in Provo, at least from a weather perspective, but not so far here for this Horned Frog defense. And I'll be honest with you, we haven't seen a team kind of cut up the Frogs like this here, what we're seeing early, Elvis. What's the difference in this game?
Well, they're just committed. Number one, I think their scheme is really good today. The way that they're really stretching you, getting to the edges, they're banging you inside. I think their offensive line play is really good, getting to the second level. They're real physical. They're beating up our interior guys. And they're committed to their style of play. I mean, this is what they do. They have good tempo. They're committed to the run. They've executed on third down plays. They're not getting in their own way. I mean, just really good BYU football here in Provo.
Marshall?
Listen, when your quarterback is averaging over 7 yards a carry and your running back's averaging over 5 yards a carry, there's not a lot of sunshine in that report. And I think it goes back to, Elvis, you talked about it. TCU substituting. There's not a lot of cohesiveness. Feels like guys are not on the same page. And yeah, you can't play every player at every single snap. Guys have to get substituted. But it seems like it's been a lot more than what seems to be necessary. And it's proving to be a lapse in details, like that last play with Lester taking a bad angle. Guys who maybe haven't played together, not communicating as well. As you say, it's loud here. Even when they're on offense, this is a raucous environment, and you played safety. You have got to be on point with your communication, or else one guy's gone and Bear Bachmeier's to the house.
Exactly. Yep.
The 5 previous meeting between these two teams, the Frogs have outscored BYU 183-56. BYU's averaged just 11 points against TCU. Tonight, BYU's got 17 already with 10:16 to play in the second quarter. Kickoff from Will Farron sails into the end zone. The Frogs will have it at the 25-yard line now. First down at 10. Frog offense already out there, down 17-0 right now. TCU's run just 10 plays in this game. BYU's had 3 drives longer than 10 plays. 4 wides, 2 to either side now. Jeremy Payne is in the backfield for the first time with the quarterback Josh Hoover. McAllister goes wide right, 1st and 10. 4 down lineman, Hoover pumps, thought about the deep ball, instead sacked. Down he goes to the 20-yard line, that's a loss of 5.
And we talked about it. They've been running a lot of slants. That's a key tell for this Kendall Brown's offense. They run a slug-o, a slant and go with Eric McAllister. Josh Hoover pumps, and then as soon as he takes the hitch to throw the ball, Colton Deary's man sacks him, and they can't even get the throw off.
Second down now. 2nd and 16. 4 wides. Hoover. With time in the pocket. Now it starts to break down. He spins around. Flush right's got a man open. Payne. Upfield. He'll make the grab. Turns across the 30. Punched out of bounds and a first down, I do believe. Let's see where they spot him out of bounds. Yes, at the 37. That's enough for a first down as Glasker finally punched him out of bounds.
That was a frantic play, one that we're not used to seeing with Josh Hoover, but he shows his athleticism there in his feel. He escapes right and finds the running back in the flat there. A really good play. Just making a play.
Snap comes back Hoover. Hoover hands it off this time Payne. Payne right up the middle across the 40 to the 42.5-yard line. And Elvis, Jeremy Payne kind of picking up where he left off in that last game against Iowa State. Did show a spark when he came into the game.
Yeah, he definitely's got some juice. I love that he's out there. He looks confident. That's 2 touches in a row with 2 big plays on the series.
2 receivers to the left. Here's the quarterback, Hoover. Quick hitter, right-hand side. Catch made. McAllister breaks the tackle across midfield. Eric sprinting right across the 30, 20, 15, and down near the 10-yard line. Eric McAllister. Finally, Beasley's able to grab a shoestring. That's a 47-yard gain. And a good look from Eric McAllister after the catch.
And that is a matchup nightmare for BYU. They're trying to avoid that. Josh Hoover recognized the one-on-one coverage, and McAllister does what he has done all season, makes a man miss, and I think that's the first time he's gotten caught in a while, but he has an explosive play for TCU and exactly what they needed.
Payne to the backfield. Stands to the right of Hoover. Snap comes back. Hoover pumps. Looking. Flush. Payne was open in the flat for a second. Instead, in the end zone, too high. Tended there for Jordan Dwyer, who was covered up on the edge by Maury Bampi. And to bring up 2nd down and goal at the 10.
And these last 3 plays, even with that incompletion, we talk about Josh Hoover, high character guy. His teammates love him, but it seems within this structure, it feels rigid at times. Elvis, would you agree? These last 3 plays, now that you want a quarterback playing off script all the time, but use your instincts, use your football playing ability to go make a play.
2nd down now, 2nd and goal at the 10. 4 wides, 2 to either side. Snap comes back Hoover. Payne gets the handoff. Jeremy Payne for 3 to the 7. 3rd and goal upcoming. McAllister wants the football. You can see him waving.
TCU with a lot of size on the field, and Jordan Dwyer, DJ Rogers, and Eric McAllister. 3 big targets when the play field is reduced in the red zone. 3 big targets for Josh Hoover.
3rd down now, 3rd and 7. Hoover out of the gun. Crowd on their feet in Provo. 1 back end, play action. Hoover pumps, now looking to his right. Still looking. Chased down and out of bounds to the 6. I thought for a moment there if he would tuck it, he might have a shot. Max Alford, though, was running him down, and it's 3rd down, and the Frogs are going to force to settle for 3 here.
Yeah, Josh Hoover's first read off the play action is covered on the left side. He scans the field, takes off to the right, and you're right. He might have had a gap there, but the defense closes in, and he didn't have a receiver in the area, so he just eats it and runs out of bounds.
22-yard effort now for McCashlin from the right hash. Trying to get the Frogs on the scoreboard here. It's a tough angle for the youngster. Snap, hold, here's the kick from McCashlin. It is good. The Frogs get on the board. That's important right there. That's a big one. 22 minutes and 39 seconds into this game. TCU's on the board, Marshall.
Just to get the goose egg out of there and establish a drive, that's a really positive thing for TCU. But again, they're going to have to do more of that and punch it in for touchdowns to keep up with this BYU team.
Timeout on the field here. The Horned Frogs on the board, 17-3. BYU leads it with 7:17 to play in this first half. And back we come after this word from Kohl's.
Kohl's has 20% off gifts that are so good, your family might think you read their minds. Check off your list now with cozy, thoughtful, and stylish gifts that will make them say, oh, how did you know? Yep, with these presents from Kohl's, you're going to leave them feeling impressed and convinced that you're a psychic. Shop Kohl's for an extra 20% off gifts that are the perfect fit. Select styles. Offer ends November 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
This commercial isn't about us. It's about you. It's about you and your first sip of your jalapeno margarita. It's about you and the fresh avocado and your shrimp ceviche. You and your family enjoying a good meal and good company. Celebrating with your closest friends, making a toast to a good year. Dessert, your favorite, Cinco Leches. When it's about you, you know you're at the right place. Make your reservation. Make it about you. Make it Macero.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletics season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
A little more like it there for the Horned Frog offense. 8 plays, 70 yards, 2:59 off the clock. 22-yard field goal from McCashland puts TCU on the scoreboard now. 17-3 here in the first half against BYU. Elvis, what'd you see how the offense was different there?
Well, I mean, they went to, you got a couple good plays from Jeremy Payne. They went to their big man, but you got to give him more touches. I hate to leave the red zone and not give McAllister a shot. I think BYU got away with the hold on Dwyer, which is why Sonny was so upset. I was right on top of it. It clearly looked like a hold, but hey, you're just not going to get some of those calls sometimes. But to leave the red zone and not just take a shot to McAllister, that's tough to watch.
Marshall, you think about this offense, too. Josh Hoover was under duress whenever he was in the pocket.
Yeah, we talked about this offensive line getting shaken up a little bit. TCU shuffling linemen around, moving Carson Bruno to right tackle. And Cooper Powers, who's his first real playing time, that inside has really been leaky a little bit. So a few of those plays by Josh Hoover were just him making a play out of the duress part of things. You don't want to live that way. So this offensive line has really got to shore things up. Hopefully they adjust as the game goes on and they get some more snaps together under their belt.
McCashland to kick it off from right to left. Cannon DeVries is back deep. BYU with a 17-3 lead. McCashland sends this one out of the back of the end zone. Kickoff football season with award-winning lineup of Blackland Distillery, Ultra Premium Vodka and Gin to Bourbon, Rye, Texas Pecan Brown Sugar Bourbon, their bold new Prairie Gold Texas Straight Bourbon, and crowd favorite Texpresso Whiskey with an upscale cocktail lounge, tasting room in the heart of Fort Worth. Blackland, the perfect post-game day destination. Raise a glass, cheer loud, and go Frogs. First down and 10 here. Two receivers to the right. L.J. Martin in the backfield. Stands to the right of Bachmeier over the middle in traffic. Drop. Ooh, break there for the Horned Frogs. As that one, JoJo Phillips could not hang on. Would have been another first down and more. Jordan Lester getting some playing time here early on. Was in coverage.
Really tight coverage there by Jordan Lester. The play could have still been made, but props to him for staying tight in coverage on the hip and making play on the ball and making it difficult for Bear Bachmeier to complete that.
Second down now, 2nd and 10 for the 25. Two receivers to the left, one to the right-hand side now. Man in motion across the formation comes Phillips. Out of the shotgun here. Works Bachmeier. Pocket breaks down. He throws it upfield. Catch is made. Spinning around at the 45-yard line is Parker Kingston for another first down. That one happened in front of Jamel Johnson for 21 yards.
Bear Bachmeier takes a shot. TCU with a really strong rush up the middle, but he stands in the pocket, delivers a strike to Kingston on the edge, and BYU is moving the field.
First and 10 of the 46. Chase Roberts wide to the right-hand side. Two receivers go left. Out of the gun works Bachmeier. Down to 6:53 to play in this second quarter. 17-3. BYU leads it. To throw it again, Bachmeier. This time underneath. Sliding down and making the grab of the 42-yard line. Chase Roberts on that one. And another first down. And we came into this game talking about Bear Bachmeier as a runner, but I like what I see him throwing a football here.
Listen, he's putting the ball where it needs to be, but his receivers are getting a lot of separation. That time, freshman Gil Jackson on the coverage slips a little bit, is late out of the break to react to the receiver, and then Bear Bachmeier has all the time in the world to complete that ball.
16 first downs in the half. The Frogs have run 17 offensive plays. Bachmeier again over the middle. Here's his 17th first down. This is the tight end. Carson Ryan still running at the 20 to the 10. Touchdown, BYU. 43-yard strike from Bachmeier to the tight end. Carson Ryan. BYU leads it 23-3.
Carson Ryan there running that route against zone, but ultimately Jamel Jackson loses him over the middle, and Bear Bachmeyer puts some touch on it. But the run after the catch by the tight end, 6'4", 250 out of Orem, Utah, was really impressive. TCU with bad angles, bad tackling, bad combination.
Boy, and we've seen that so many times from BYU, haven't we? The tight ends over the years here. They're going to take a look at this one to make sure he got it in the end zone. Our first glance at it looked like this will, in fact, be a score.
And listen, BYU has really talented tight ends, but they don't do anything that TCU hasn't seen before. But Carson Ryan splits out wide right, and he runs a pretty simple in route. I don't think he was the first read by any stretch of the imagination, but Bear Bachmeyer gets through his reads. He has all the time. And then the catch, run after the catch, which was really impressive, is where if you're watching TCU's defense, you just kind of shake your head because guys had ankles. They missed the tackle. They're diving at ankles right there. And it's just a really tough showing so far.
Elvis, what'd you see in that coverage there?
Well, it just kills me to see kind of the secondary play we're seeing right now. Marshall's right. I just don't think...
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It is a touchdown.
You know, it feels like our secondary's guessing on what kind of routes they're going to get. It doesn't look like at times they know, hey, in this situation, I'm going to get this. They're not getting physical. They're not winning. They're not communicating. I think on that last play, receivers crossed. Jamel was with one guy. He was supposed to, it was a banjo call. Should have gone with that one. All of a sudden, he's trailing and he's behind, and there's nobody to help because they're in coverage. So it's just a secondary that just is not playing very good this first half.
Will Farron out for the point after now. 6 minutes left in the half. Trying to make this a 24-3 game for BYU. Here's a kick from Farron. It's good. 24-3 Cougars. They lead it on the Horned Frogs here in Provo tonight. More after this timeout. And a word from Baylor All Saints.
Hey, Frogs. Ready to power up your Riff Ram Bazoo? Unleash the power to live better with Baylor Scott and White Medical Center, Fort Worth, your go-to teammate when it comes to taking charge of your health. We're always ready to have your back, helping you stay on top of your wellness goals with convenient and personalized care. It's time to let that fan power shine. Visit bswhealth.com/Fort Worth to learn more. Go Frogs!
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone, too. For my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family. Drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with... Hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile. Thanks, Zoe. The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible board-ins on essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Tough first half so far for the Frogs, trailing 24-3 against BYU. Still 6 minutes left to play before halftime as we welcome you back inside the Maritz Studios here. I'm Dave Shook with a quick check of the Coors Light scoreboard. Everything in the Big 12 and the top 25 now final, excluding our game. But a couple of final scores to get you caught up on, including 13th ranked Utah, who stays alive in the Big 12 race with a 55-28 win on the road in Waco against the Baylor Bears, in which backup quarterback Bird Ficklin came into the game, threw a couple of passes, but most notably carried the ball 6 times for, get this, 166 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Utes run all over the Bears 55-28. And also a final score in the state of Georgia, in Athens, between the hedges, is 5th-ranked Georgia downs 10th-ranked Texas 35-10. The final score in that one, as quarterback Gunnar Stockton throws for 4 touchdown passes and runs for another, as the Bulldogs move to 9-1 on the season, 7-1 in the SEC, and the Longhorns dropping now to 7-3 on the year.
Here the Horned Frogs find themselves sitting down 24-3. BYU with the lead on TCU. 4-play, 75-yard drive for the Cougars. 1:17 off the clock, 43-yard throw and catch from Bachmeier to his tight end, Carson Ryan. Last week at Texas Tech, BYU had 255 yards, had 14 first downs. Tonight, already, 286 yards of total offense and 17 first downs.
And that's why, as Elvis talked about, that last TCU offensive possession not ending in a target to McAllister and 6 points just doesn't bode well for tonight. The way BYU's playing, and TCU just does not have an answer.
Will Farron to kick it off now for the Cougars. This one into the end zone of the BYU defense. Trots out there again. They've been good as well. A lot of talk about what they've done offensively, but I think this BYU defense has really caused problems for this Frog offense.
I mean, they've essentially made this offense one-dimensional. TCU missing their best running back, but still a very important thing to be able to run the ball efficiently. And then they're taking away Eric McAllister. Other than that explosive run, they've been right on his hip. They've made Josh Hoover go off of his first read, which often is an in-breaking route, and they're making this TCU offense play right into their hands.
1st and 10 of the 25, Jeremy Payne in the backfield. Payne gets a handoff. Hoover sees him bounce left, and Jeremy's going to pick up 3 here to the 28-yard line. Raider DeMooney on the tackle. And at some point, too, Elvis, you got to possess the football a little bit, right? I mean, at this point, you want to play a little keep away.
Yeah, it was key that they were going to move the chains. That was kind of one of my keys of just winning third downs was to keep that offense off the field.
Time of possession, 17.5 to 6.5. Hoover flushed, rolling left. Penalty marker comes in as he gets to the 30, but I'm pretty sure it's coming back.
Holding, number 56, offense, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's Ben Taylor Whitfield. Tackle for the Horned Frogs.
And the original pressure was off of Colton Deary not being able to keep up with BYU's defender. And Ben Taylor Whitfield kind of gets called for it as Hoover rolls out to the left, but just really poor protection so far for Josh Hoover. He's not able to get to his second read most of the time, and he's scrambling for his life out there. I like that he plays off schedule sometimes and playing backyard ball, but not at the expense of pass protection consistently from down to down.
2nd and 17, 4 wides. In this package, one back standing to the left of Hoover. Play clock's at 2, at 1. Barely got it off. 4-down lineman come. Josh in the pocket, steps up, firing it over the middle, and is caught here by McAllister up across the 40 to the 41-yard line. There was a conversation, by the way, on the sideline, Elvis, between Josh and Eric. Eric wants the ball more. Josh, you got to get it to him, right?
I think that's the competitive juices flowing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? He wants to make a play. He knows they're desperate to make a play. He wants the ball.
Here's the quarterback, Hoover, ripping it out of the belly of the running back and throwing it to Dwyer along the left-hand side for 4 yards. 2nd and 6 upcoming for the 45-yard line now.
And I would argue that competitive fire is what TCU has needed the entire season. Waiting till you lose 1, 2, 3 games and you're down here big to BYU to get into each other. Elvis, you know this. The best players demand the most of themselves and others.
Absolutely.
Here's the quarterback, Hoover. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, 1 back in. Hoover on 1st down, hands it off up the middle. Running with it is Jeremy Payne across the 40 and down to the 38-yard line of BYU. We saw this last week. Isaiah Glasker on the tackle. Had that great run at the end. Ended up coughing the football up. It's hard to fault him for that effort, though, Marshall.
Absolutely. He's bringing a spark. He's running really, really hard. That time, TCU with a little counter. He hits the hole hard, and he can really get up and down. He's not a bruiser, but when there's space, he can make teams pay.
Frogs have 6 first downs. All of them have come on 2nd down. Here it's 1st down now. 1st down at 10 to the 39 of BYU. Frogs are down 24-3. Snap comes back to Hoover. 2 receivers left, looking that way. Fade pattern, looking for McAllister. 1-on-1. McAllister had a hand on it, and that's all. Alexander was in coverage. Boy, I tell you what, here's the thing about McAllister. He's a guy, I would love to see him try to catch that with 2 hands. I mean, he makes a lot of one-handed catches. He had that right hand kind of locked up on the defender, tried to stab it with 1 hand. Man, if he throws another one up there, he might grab that. 2nd and 10 here now. Hoover to throw it. Pressure comes over the middle. Caught by McAllister inside the 25. And Eric going to take it to the 22-yard line. That's enough for another first down. That's a 17-yard completion. Another first down on the second down. First down's been bad, though, for the Frogs. Averaging just, 1.4 yards on first down. Hoover, by the way, took a little bit of a shot as he let go of that one. 1st and 10 now, the 22 of BYU. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left-hand side. Hoover changing the play. Plenty of time on the play clock. Back is Jeremy Payne, stands to his right. Snap comes back. Hoover's going to give. Right up the middle goes Jeremy. That's a good check, by the way. Got it down inside the 15 to the 14. What'd you see, Marshall?
Well, that's the second time TCU started out under center. Josh Hoover doesn't like what he's seeing. Most likely was a pass play. They go to gun, and they check run. So that's a little tendency from TCU that time. A nice first down run from Payne.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. That's the largest gain on a first down for the Horned Frogs tonight. 7 yards, 2nd and 3. Play clock at 13. Hoover doesn't have a play. Sonny Dykes is holding him up here. Now, I think what he's trying to do is get to the 2-minute warning. Yep, nice job there. I like that. That was Coach Dykes. Some good time management there. Get to the 2-minute warning. You're trying not to leave them anything, folks, the way they've moved the ball offensively.
Well, that's a really perilous situation there if a coach is not really on his P's and Q's because the play clock and the game clock were really close. And so Sonny recognized they were just out of sync. He could run the clock down to 2 minutes and then get TCU a free timeout going here in the red zone.
Really good clock management for the Horned Frogs. Will be facing 2nd down and 3 here at the 15 when we get back. 2 minutes left in the half. 24-3. BYU leads it. Back after this for our local stations of the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
TCU athletics goes beyond the field and court. It fuels Fort Worth's economy. Game days bring a flood of fans and fresh eyes to our city, boosting local businesses, creating jobs, and cultivating community spirit. TCU athletics supports over 2,000 jobs and brings over $400 million to our state each year. It's more than a game. It's a driving force for economic growth. Support the Horned Frogs and witness the power of purple. TCU. Lead on with impact.
At TCU, we're investing in potential. On average, 80% of Horned Frogs receive financial aid that helps fuel their dreams and futures. You can help by supporting student scholarships. Your generosity plants the seeds of opportunity, allowing students to grow into tomorrow's leaders and innovators. Visit tcu.edu/give to contribute. Large or small, your gift matters. TCU. Lead on with impact.
Down to 2 minutes left here in this first half. The Horned Frogs down 24-3, threatening in the Sewell red zone here at the 15-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 3 now. This Frog offense starting to click a little bit. Couple of adjustments that they've made up front along that offensive line. You've even said, hey, you might even think about chipping a guy or bringing another guy in to help in pass protection somehow, Marshall.
Well, usually when you get pressure off the edge, Carson Bruno is a natural guard playing at tackle. I think he's held up okay, but right now I'm really worried a little bit about Colton Deary so far. He's really normally got a really good anchor. We call the anchor after the initial pass rush. Can you set your hips down, get your center of gravity down to handle the bull rush? He's gotten pushed back now multiple times into Josh Hoover's lap when it's not allowing Josh Hoover to step up and follow through on the ball. If that continues, this passing game is going to get stalled because Josh has nowhere to run right now.
60 yards so far on this drive for the Horned Frog. Last drive was a 70-yard drive that resulted in a field goal. Elvis, that tells me right there they're starting to figure it out a little bit. I mean, listen, this is an offense that's put up 427 yards 3 of the last 4 games, at least 427.
Well, you're getting a spark from Jeremy Payne. That's really good to hear. And to Marshall's point, you got to do something about Keanu Tanuvasa. I mean, don't forget, I think Colton Deary's battling, I think it's an ankle injury. He missed last week's first half, so he may need a little help because that dude is an anchor. But McAllister and Jeremy Payne, you got a 1-2 punch going here. I I feel like Josh is also a little bit sharper right now.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but his throw's got a little bit more zip and a little bit more on target.
He played with a little attitude, didn't he?
Yep, I like it.
Yep, second down now, 2nd and 3. Frogs with the football, 2 minutes left in the half. Down 24-3. After what you saw in College Station today, folks, anything can happen. Hoover's going to go wide right. Battle's going to take the direct snap. He can throw it, by the way, but he's going to run it here. Right up the middle, Trent's going to dive forward, and he's going to get maybe 2, needed 3. It'll bring him 3rd down now, 3rd and 1. See, that's a play that I'm anxious to see. Trent Battle's a quarterback coming out of high school. You know, show him that look, take the step forward, then you got the pop pass, and see what happens.
I bet they have it in their book. They definitely know what he can do. That feels like the pop pass is closer to the goal line, maybe a 3rd and 4th and inches where you really get the defense selling out.
Charge time out of the half.
Selling out to stop the run, but absolutely it's an option for TCU. Ultimately, I think they just wanted to get the ball in a running back's hands. I think Battle has got to take a little bit more time, let his blocks develop, and then hit it hard. He's hitting it so hard that the offensive line doesn't have time for the combo blocks to move guys up the field.
We talk about great running backs and how they set up the block. You know, Barry Sanders was one of the best to let that happen. And Trent Battle still learning the nuances of that position, right? Not a natural running back over the years.
I can tell a good running back can make his offensive line look so much better by just the patience. Because sometimes linemen get stalemate, it happens. But a good running back makes you look good by setting up a defender, making him look like he's going one way and then going the other way. It sounds simple, but the best can do it consistently.
Did you ever thank him in the huddle?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah?
I knew when it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3rd down. Who was the best that you played with at that?
Later in my career, I got to play with Marshawn Lynch. He was one of the absolute best at doing that.
3rd down and 1 now. Frogs 12 of 12 on 3rd and 1. Hoover directing traffic. Play clock's at 13. Got one back in. It's Jeremy Payne. 3rd and 1. Hoover pumps, keeps it. Oh, takes a hit, gets the 1st down. They give him a bad spot. I mean, a really bad spot here, folks. But you got to live with it. Let's see where they spot it. It's going to be at the 12.5-yard line. I don't think it's enough for a 1st down. And it's not. Sonny Dykes can't believe it. He's out on the field.
What is the...
Sonny Dykes, he's out by the numbers.
The ref,
it's 4th
the head
and 1.
judge.
I don't think it's a 1st down, though, based on the measurement, though, from the perspective that we see here. I think it was
BYU takes their 3rd and final charge time out of the half.
A poor spot, and Kalani Sitake just did him a favor, taking a timeout. We get another chance to look at it on replay. So Hoover's hit. It's hard to tell where he hits the ground. They mark him at the 12.5. He had to get to the 12 for the 1st down.
He kind of gets flips upside down, and the ball, you got to remember, that's where the ball is. His body moves forward, and the ball doesn't. So that's a really close spot. TCU looked like they were going to try to hurry up and just sneak it, regardless of the spot. But this is a really big chain measurement here.
Yeah, it's the first failure on a 3rd and 1 this year by the Horned Frogs.
You take credit for that announcer jinx there?
No, I shouldn't have shared it. Here's the thing, though, fellas, I want to bring up. So if they do not change this spot, and it does not look like they are, and it's 4th down and 1, you got 1:19 to play in the half. You're going for it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This feels like must territory. BYU is now out of timeouts, but you've got to say that the rest of our season hinges on what we decide to do today. Not what they're going to do, not what anyone in the arena thinks you're going to do, what the offensive players decide they're going to do right here, right now.
They're going to bring on the big package, and I mean the big package out there right now for the Horned Frogs. Bringing an extra lineman here. Also bringing in the fullback, Joe Pritchard. John Denman is in at running back. He's standing behind Hoover. 4th down. Toss left. Denman leaning forward. 10, 5, touchdown. How about that call? 13-yard scamper from John Denman, the freshman, on 4th and 1. The Horned Frogs find the end zone with 1:14 to play in this half to make it a 24-9 game. That is new life right there, fellas.
And it absolutely says something when you decide in a must situation to run it right at the meat of a defense. TCU brings their big boys out, multiple tight ends. John Denman, the freshman who's got a lot of size from Palestine, Texas. They run a little quick pitch, and he puts his foot in the ground and hits his head on the goalpost almost.
Here's McCashlin now for the point after. to make it a 24-10 ball game. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. Hey, how about that, Elvis? Message sent from Sonny Dykes. Goes forward on 4th and 1 and gets in the end zone.
I loved it. I love that heavy package. I'm sitting here trying to even look up numbers as we had different guys wearing different jerseys. Looks like it was Killian Registy there, and then also Van Hoy. So that's some big boys on the left side. Good job there of going to get that and striking here before the first half.
Yeah, down to a minute 14 to go. Now you got to play some defense here. You got to keep them out. I mean, this offense for BYU has been terrific in this first half. The Horned Frogs will get the football to start the second half.
And then on that point, TCU has won a lot of coin flips this year, and they've chosen to defer almost every single time. And what that means, and I'll keep saying it because it's so important in the momentum of a game, is they scored a touchdown here before the half. Now they got to have a really good defensive possession, but they get the chance to then go out of half and score again. And this is a whole new ball game if those things happen and they execute like they're supposed to.
Scoring drive, 10 plays, 75 yards for the Frogs, 4:46 off the clock. 13-yard run for the freshman John Denman, 24-10. Horned Frogs. Here's the kick by McCashlin, well out of the back of the end zone. BYU with it. They have no timeouts remaining. Frogs have all 3 of theirs.
And there you go. They haven't defended the pass well, I won't say that, but they have a new shot here, a new shot of energy in their arm from that TCU offensive possession. If this defense can get off the field, TCU has timeouts to make this interesting to get more points on the board.
BYU with it, 1st and 10 now. Per Bachmeier in this first half, 13 of 17, 183 yards and a touchdown. Throwing the football. L.J. Martin in at running back. Martin's got 44 yards on the ground. This time they'll hand it off on the sweep to Kingston. Strung out nicely by the Frogs. He went out of bounds with 1:09 to go. And no gain.
We've talked about those sweeps challenging the edges of TCU's defense. That time, Nnamdi Obiazor sets the edge and makes that sweep bubble and really take the long way around, and he gets no gain for BYU. Kingston does.
Yeah, actually loses a yard. They marked it back to the 24. 2nd and 11 now. 4 wides, 2 to either side. 4 down linemen for the Frogs. Bachmeier to throw it here. Looking right, firing it out, and it is caught at the 20 or the 33-yard line by Chase Roberts. 2 yards short of the first down. Stays inbounds. Clock runs with 58 seconds to play, and it's 3rd down and 2 now.
And they're just killing TCU's corners on these comeback routes.
Bachmeier out of the gun. Hands it off up the middle. First down. To the 36 goes L.J. Martin. Timeout. Nope, just to stop the clock for the chain movement. 45 seconds to play in the half. 2 receivers left, one to the right-hand side. Bachmeier with time over the middle of the field. Caught at the 48-yard line of the Frogs. BYU working without a timeout, moving quickly. Kingston on the reception that time. Clock stops momentarily to move the chains with 37 seconds to play in the half. Running in is Carson Ryan, the tight end. He's in the slot right. 208 yards throwing for Bachmeier in the first half. Frogs trying to get some pressure. Bachmeier over the middle of the can, incomplete. Threw that one out in front of Roberts. And that breaks a string of 5 straight completions here for Bachmeier.
And those completions are directly correlated to what seems like just not a lot of pressure up front for TCU. That last play, Devin Deals off the ball, runs a little bit of a game, gets a little pressure, makes Bear Bachmeier escape out to the left, and that causes the incompletion. But TCU has got to find a way to get more pressure in passing situations on Bear Bachmeier.
2nd down and 10 now. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Out of the gun works Bachmeier. Frogs showing pressure from the edge. They come after him. Gets picked up nicely up front. Bachmeier in traffic, and he threw this one short. One hopped it to his brother Tiger.
It looked like the turf monster got BYU on that one.
Yeah.
Tiger Bachmeier runs a deep in, slips on his break. The ball was a little short too, but that time just can't complete the pass.
3rd down now. 3rd and 10 at the 48-yard line of the Frogs, down to 21 seconds left. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right-hand side. Carson Ryan, the tight end, comes wide right. Out of the gun here. Works Bachmeier, and
He takes their first timeout of the half.
Timeout taken here by TCU. They didn't like what they saw out of that formation. Well, Elvis, I will say this, and one of the things that you do brag on Andy Avalos about is his halftime adjustments, that you feel like he's one of the best in the locker room at halftime. He's going to have to be that here tonight against this BYU offense, isn't he?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think he's a really great motivator. I think he focuses on 2 or 3 big rocks and really try to get details of it. I'm sure they're going to talk about it. They already have, because Marshall mentioned how Namdi played that jet sweep really well. I mean, it's almost like he was anticipating. So they saw something on their tablets. They're communicating. It looked like they stopped at that time. So, yeah, what I want to see is how our corners can play a little bit better, because I feel like we're playing in soft coverage and we're getting ate up on the outside. So I'll try to do the best I can and listen and see what kind of adjustment he makes.
And then, Marshall, offensively, if you're TCU, you kind of feel like you've gotten in a little bit of a groove in the back half of the half.
Yeah, it's the groove led by your quarterback and the emotion he's showing. Obviously, you still have to execute, but this TCU team hates losing. They hate the performance they've had, they put on the field. They've got to carry that for the entire game. This can't be a one-and-done type of deal.
3rd and 10 of the 48 now. Bachmeier out of the shotgun. Kingston in the flat left. Instead, he throws it up for a first down at the 35-yard line. Finally punched out of bounds is Chase Roberts at the 35 of the Horned Frog. Stops the clock with 14 seconds to work in the half. That's another 13-yarder. Bachmeier, this is a freshman, guys. Freshman quarterback who's orchestrating this. Yeah, can you call him a freshman anymore? He's got 9 games under his belt.
Yeah, I heard, what's the head coach of the Houston Texans, D'Amico Ryan, say at this point, you're no longer a rookie. The rookie tag is gone. In this case, he's no longer a freshman. He's done too much. They've won too much.
Frogs again showing some pressure. Snap comes back. Bachmeier throws it up. Caught at the 20. Out of bounds at the 17. 9 seconds to work with. JoJo Phillips hauls that one in. That's an 18-yard reception. That's the 21st first down for BYU in the half.
And give Bear Bachmeier all the credit. He's putting the balls where they're supposed to be, but his receivers are wide open. Every out-breaking route, in-breaking route, stop on the edge, come back. TCU is not getting their footing, and they are not in tight coverage. So his balls have not been the most accurate, but he's not having to be so far.
First down and 10 here at the 17-yard line. Bachmeier again with time. Off his back foot in the end zone too high. Down to 3 seconds left. Chase Roberts, the intended target. They'll have to settle for 3 now. And you hear the applause here. That's good football fans who know that that drive orchestrated nicely by Bear Bachmeier to get them down that close with no timeouts.
Absolutely, no timeouts. They converted first downs. They got out of bounds when they could, and they took what TCU gave them. And they're going to get a chance to put points on the board here. And those are the big hidden points that good teams continue to capitalize on.
Will Farron from 35 yards out. Sonny Dykes going to take the timeout. Why not? I'll take him with you. I like this. Farron's perfect, by the way, from the 30s. From the left hash here for Farron out of Kaysville, Utah.
Yeah, TCU had saved their 3 timeouts and was prepared of the potential 2-minute drill of their own. But at this point, they're not going to get the ball back, and maybe make him think about it a little bit, make sure you guys are on the same page for any fakes, anything going on, and hopefully he misses it and you can go into the half with a little bit of momentum.
Parker Kingston, by the way, 5 catches for 80 yards in the half so far. Chase Roberts, the other terrific target, big guy at 6'4". He's got 4 catches for 38. He's had a catch now in 36 straight games. 344 yards of total offense in the half for BYU. Here's the 35-yard effort now for Farron from the left hash with 3 seconds left in the half. Trying to make this a 27-10 game. Kick's got plenty on it. Farron right down the middle, and another 10-play drive for BYU. They have scored on 5 of 5 possessions here to start this game here in the first half. BYU leads it 27-10 as Elvis Gallegos is making his way to the head coach of the Horned Frogs. For D&M Leasing right now, here's Elvis with Sonny Dykes making their way to the locker room. Elvis.
Coach, tough first half, but you did get in the end zone. You kept him out of the end zone. You get the ball second half. What's going to be your message to the football team in this half?
Well, we settled in. We're playing better. We're slipping all over the field. Yes. So we're going to have to figure out our footing. change cleats at halftime, figure something out, because we can't stay on our feet right now, and it's hurting us. We just got to play now. I think we're settled in, and we know that if we'll do our job, we can make plays, have a chance to come back and win the game.
Thank you, Coach.
That's Sonny Dykes. You talked about it, Marshall. The cleats, this field surface, we knew it coming in. You played on this field before. You were here in 2009, the last time the Horned Frogs were here. Andy Dalton led that blowout victory. There's something about this surface. They cut it a little high.
Listen, yes, there's something about this surface, but I played for former TCU coach Gary Patterson. I played for Bill Belichick.
Yep.
I played for a lot of coaches who imposed on you on these surfaces that are different. You go pregame and you figure out what works for you.
Yep.
So to say that, Coach, I give them all the credit in the world for that. They're going to make adjustments, whatever.
Yep.
But to take that into halftime, that's an adjustment you figure out off the first drive or before the first drive.
Yeah.
So I don't like the excuse. We're watching it. It's happening. It's happening to both teams, but they're just capitalizing on it more.
I wonder, too, though, as the night goes, do things change as far as the turf is concerned? You get some more moisture in the air. I may be stretching it here. I don't know. Let's find out if they change.
Did either one of us go to graduate school for meteorology?
No, but I did get Yard of the Month twice. Timeout here at halftime. The Horned Frogs find themselves down 27-10 right now to BYU. Our halftime show brought to us by Frost Bank with Dave Shook at the helm. Comes your way next after this from Coors Light.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The Black Friday sale is on at Moritz Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in West Fort Worth. If you've been waiting for the right time to buy a new Ram truck, it's time. You'll find a great selection from the rugged, dependable Ram truck to the #1 selling midsize SUV, the Grand Cherokee. And Moritz backs you with exceptional service. We're family owned and have served this community for over 50 years. Moritz, big on hospitality, low on prices. Visit us today or shop online at MoritzChryslerJeep.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
This is former Frog quarterback Jeff Ballard, and you're listening to the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
At TCU, our students mean business. With more than 36,000 internship hours logged every year, Horned Frogs are gaining real-world experience and making their marks in the professional world. Is your business looking for driven, talented interns? Hire a Horned Frog and bring that dedication and skill to your team. Visit tcu.edu/hireafrog to find out how you can tap into this incredible pool of talent. TCU, lead on with impact.
Be ready for game day with officially licensed TCU merchandise from shop.gofrogs.com. Gear up with apparel and accessories, including t-shirts, hats, jerseys, and more. And now check out the latest in custom NIL merchandise that supports your favorite TCU athlete. Whether in the stadium on game day or sporting your purple in the office, look your best for the best selection of Horned Frogs gear online. It's shop.gofrogs.com and bleed purple.
Dialed in on that first half. Dave Shook has all the highlights right now on our halftime rewind.
Well, no way to sugarcoat that one. Rough half for the Horned Frogs, who trail at 27-10 at the break. As we welcome you here inside the Moritz Studios, Dave Shook with you. As we welcome you to the Frost Bank Halftime Report, brought to you by Frost Bank, a proud sponsor of TCU Athletics. From accounts to advice, you get exactly what you need with the unexpected level of care that you deserve. Frost Bank, exactly what you unexpected. And as we always do, we lead off the Frost Bank Halftime Report with the halftime rewind as we look back at all the biggest moments and highlights from the opening 30 minutes. And it was a rough first half for the Frogs, like we mentioned, as BYU scores on each of their 5 possessions in the half, getting things moving on the opening drive with a 10-play, 45-yard drive that ended with a Will Farron field goal from 52 yards out to make it 3-0 just 4 minutes into the game. Frogs had a little something going, though, on their opening drive. Joseph Manjack catching a deep ball from Hoover over the middle into BYU territory, but the drive stalls at the Cougar 42-yard line. Frogs forced a punt, giving the ball back to BYU inside the 10-yard line. But on that ensuing drive, BYU quarterback Bear Bachmeier makes his presence known for the first time, running it for big yardage 3 times, making 4 big completions as part of a 10-play, 91-yard drive, capped off by an 11-yard score from Parker Kingston on the ground to make it 10-0 as we hit the end of the first quarter. That saw the Frogs run just 10 plays compared to 2 drives of 10 plays each for BYU, resulting in 10 points. And then following a 3-and-out by the Frog offense, BYU puts together their 3rd consecutive 10-play drive. This one goes for 75 yards before Bear Bachmeier finishes it himself on a 3rd and long as he runs it in from 17 yards out 5 minutes into the second quarter. And then that 17-point deficit seemed to finally spark the Frogs offense as Eric McAllister made the first big play of the day for the Frogs.
Here's the quarterback, Hoover, quick hitter, right-hand side, catch made. McAllister breaks the tackle across midfield. Eric sprinting right across the 30, 20, 15, and down near the 10-yard line. Eric McAllister. Finally, Beasley's able to grab a shoestring. That's a 47-yard gain.
Frogs weren't able to punch it into the end zone there, but did get on the board courtesy of a short field goal a few players later from Nate McCashlin, making it 17-3. Frog defense wasn't able to build on the momentum, though, as Bear Bachmeier again finds Carson Ryan wide open for a 43-yard touchdown pass to up the BYU lead to 24-3 just 4 plays later with 6 minutes still to play before halftime. And then with their backs to the wall, Josh Hoover and the Frogs put together their best drive of the half as he finds Eric McAllister twice for 40 yards to get the Frogs into the red zone before they faced a 4th and 1 at the BYU 13-yard line.
John Denman is in at running back. He's standing behind Hoover, 4th down. Toss left, Denman leaning forward, 10, 5, touchdown. How about that call? 13-yard scamper from John Denman, the freshman, on 4th and 1. The Horned Frogs find the end zone with 1:14 to play in this half to make it a 24-9 game.
Huge for the Frogs just before halftime to get it into the end zone there, make it a 2-score game at 24-10 with 1:14 to play before halftime, following a 10-play, 75-yard drive. But the Frogs defense lets them down again on the final drive of the half as Bachmeier again quickly leads the Cougars on a 10-play, 58-yard drive that ends with a Will Farron field goal as time expires from 35 yards away, making it 27-10. At the break. So that's the halftime rewind again with the Horned Frogs down 17 at the break. 27-10 is the score as we take a timeout here on the Frostbank Halftime Report. And when we come back, we take a look at all the numbers from that opening half after this message and a word from Omni Hotels.
Hey, Frog fans! When you stay at Omni Fort Worth, you stay at the official hotel of your favorite team. It's right in the heart of Horned Frog Country, close to the stadium, and has everything you'll need to close out a great game day in style. Football is a way of life in Texas, and there's no better place to paint the town purple, relive the best plays of the day, or celebrate a big win. So, Horned Frog fans, when you hear the Froghorn calling, stay in the game at Omni Fort Worth.
Confused by talk about auto tariffs? Well, market shifts create a unique opportunity right now. Lower new car prices combined with higher trade-in values means potential big savings for you. With no money down and lower payments with the easy lease, calling now could save you thousands. 817-972-35-LEASE or visit them online at dmautoleasing.com. D&M Leasing, the name you trust in any market.
We make leasing easy at D&M.
The West Wellness and Massage is a proud sponsor of TCU Spirit. Just like the Horned Frogs, we believe in giving it your all, and recovery is part of the game. From massages and facials to IV drips and wellness treatments, the West helps you feel and perform your best. Located right here in Fort Worth's Cultural District, we're ready when you are. Book your session today at thewestwellnesstx.com and keep your body game day ready. That's thewestwellnesstx.com.
Hi, this is Norm Boulash, and you're listening to TCU Football on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Frog fans. Alex Yak here, Frog Club's Deputy Athletic Director for Development. Are you a casual Horned Frog fan? It's time to go pro. Frog Club membership is your all-access pass. Enjoy exclusive events, priority points, and early access to all things TCU. Support our student-athletes from the stands and by fueling their success beyond the field. Cheer loud on Saturday. Stand behind them every day. Become a member at tcufrogclub.com or call 817-257-7700.
Get your game face on and get ready for the thrill of TCU football. Join us at Amon G. Carter Stadium for an action-packed season. Feel the roar of the crowd and experience the excitement of every touchdown as you witness the electric atmosphere that only TCU football can deliver. Whether you're a die-hard fan or new to the Horned Frogs Nation, every game brings unforgettable memories. Grab your tickets today at GoFrogs.com and be part of the action as we bleed purple together. TCU football, the Carter awaits.
It's a numbers game, and Dave Shook has them all with our halftime stats.
27-10 in favor of BYU at the break in this one as we welcome you back to the Frostbank halftime report with a check of the numbers from that first half that saw BYU rack up 344 total yards of offense compared to just 192 for TCU. BYU also very diverse in the way that they're getting to those numbers, with 239 of them coming in the air off the arm of Bear Bachmeier, who completed 17 of 24 passes for those 239 plus a touchdown in this one. But BYU also getting it done on the ground at 105 yards of offense rushing in this one, averaging 5.8 yards per carry, with running back LJ Martin running it 9 times for 47 yards, and then Bear Bachmeier also getting it done with his legs in this one with 6 carries for 46 yards. Compare that on the other side for TCU, 142 of their 192 yards coming off the arm of Josh Hoover, who was 7 of 13 throwing the football, and then not getting much on the ground in this one with 14 carries for just 50 yards, about 3.6 yards per carry in this one. Jeremy Payne leading the way. He has 5 carries for 35 yards, though John Denman on that 1 carry had 13 yards, including the touchdown for TCU. Penalty yardage, both teams playing pretty clean thus far. 2 penalties for TCU for 20 yards, just 1 for 10 yards for BYU. Third downs, though, really a telltale sign in this one. TCU 0 for 4 on third down, but 1 of 1 on the fourth down. That was the touchdown run by John Denman. BYU, meanwhile, 5 of 6 on third down in the ballgame, including a 3rd and long that they converted for a touchdown to blow the game open late in the first quarter. And then taking a look at some of the other numbers in this one as well. Take a look at time of possession, where BYU had the football for nearly 19 minutes of the ball game. Neither team has turned the ball over, but BYU also getting good pressure defensively, picking up 2 sacks of Josh Hoover in the opening half. So let's look at some of the numbers in this one. It all adds up to a 27-10 BYU lead at the break over TCU. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll take a check of the Coors Light scoreboard as we get you up to date on all the other action from around college football on a busy Saturday around the nation. That's still to come after we take this timeout and have a word from Retirement Planning University.
Every great team has a game plan. What's your game plan for retirement? Join us in person for a 2-night comprehensive Retirement Planning University course. It's interactive, instructor-led, and covers what you need to know when it comes to retirement planning, taxes, income strategy, common mistakes, and more. If retirement is the next play for you, this class sets the formation. Reserve your seat at retirementplanninguniversity.com. That's retirementplanninguniversity.com. Retirement Planning University is a nonprofit and non-accredited university. TCU is not a client. See website for disclosures. Go Frogs!
What's the difference between filing online and filing with a local Liberty Tax expert? At Liberty Tax, you'll get personalized support from a trained professional who'll take the time to get to know you and your unique tax situation. Whether you're wanting to file in person or remotely with a nearby expert, we've got you covered. Visit libertytax.com to book an appointment or to learn more about remote tax prep. Liberty Tax, your trusted tax experts for life. See website for details and eligibility.
Moritz Chevrolet in West Fort Worth invites you to save big during our Black Friday sale. Check out our impressive selection of Chevy Silverado trucks, priced right. And if you're in the market for an SUV, the Chevy Equinox is coming in hot. Moritz is committed to giving you the best price out there and backs every sale with exceptional service. Moritz, big on hospitality, low on prices. Visit us today or shop online at MoritzChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
On the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to the Halftime Report, brought to you by Frost Bank. Now, from the Moritz Studios, it's the Coors Light Halftime Scoreboard. Coors Light. When rivalries heat up, choose chill. Official beer of the Horned Frogs. Celebrate responsibly. Here's Dave Shook.
A couple of minutes away from the start of the second half in Provo, with BYU leading TCU 27-10 at the break, as we take a check of the Coors Light scoreboard. A couple of final scores to get you caught up on in the Big 12, including 6th-ranked Texas Tech taking care of business at home against UCF 48-9 as the Red Raiders move to 10-1 on the year, 7-1 in the Big 12, and all but punch their ticket into the Big 12 championship game a few weeks from now. Also a final and upset today in Cincinnati as the 25th-ranked Bearcats hosting Arizona today, but the Wildcats rally late and win this one 30-24. The final score as Arizona continues to be one of the surprise teams in the Big 12 Conference. And then also keeping their hopes alive for a spot in the Big 12 championship game was 13th-ranked Utah, who went on the road into Waco and smashed Baylor today 55-28, the final score in that one. And then in the top 25, a couple of finals for you as well, as 7th-ranked Ole Miss rallied from a deficit in the fourth quarter against Florida today to pick up their 10th win of the season, 34-24 in Oxford. And then a final score in Athens between the hedges as 5th-ranked Georgia made a statement today with a dominant 35-10 win over 10th-ranked Texas, a game in which the Bulldogs now move to 9-1 on the season and 7-1 in the SEC after quarterback Gunnar Stockton threw for 4 touchdown passes and ran for another one in the win for the Bulldogs. So that's a look around the rest of the Big 12 and the top 25. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we're headed back out to Lavelle Edwards Stadium in Provo to get the locker room report with Elvis Gallegos coming your way after this word from Coors Light.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Texas Christian University. Any use of this presentation is prohibited without the express consent of Texas Christian University and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by Texas Christian University.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, Frogs. Ready to power up your Riff Ram Bazoo? Unleash the power to live better with Baylor Scott and White Medical Center, Fort Worth, your go-to teammate when it comes to taking charge of your health. We're always ready to have your back, helping you stay on top of your wellness goals with convenient and personalized care. It's time to let that fan power shine. Visit bswhealth.com/Fort Worth to learn more. Go Frogs!
Kohl's has 20% off gifts that are so good, your family might think you read their minds. Check off your list now with cozy, thoughtful, and stylish gifts that will make them say, oh, how did you know? Yep, with these presents from Kohl's, you're going to leave them feeling impressed and convinced that you're a psychic. Shop Kohl's for an extra 20% off gifts that are the perfect fit. Select styles. Offer ends November 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
This is Sean Stilley, quarterback of the 2002 Liberty Bowl Championship TCU Horned Frogs, and you're listening to the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield.
TCU athletics goes beyond the field and court. It fuels Fort Worth's economy. Game days bring a flood of fans and fresh eyes to our city, boosting local businesses, creating jobs, and cultivating community spirit. TCU athletics supports over 2,000 jobs and brings over $400 million to our state each year. It's more than a game. It's a driving force for economic growth. Support the Horned Frogs and witness the power of purple. TCU. Lead on with impact.
Hey, Horned Frog fans, want to give your kids the ultimate football experience at TCU? Well, create a memory they'll cherish forever as you join us for a chance to be a part of TCU's Bleacher Creatures and run out onto the field pregame with the Frogs. Just show up 20 minutes before kickoff at the Southeast Scoreboard, and your kids will get to run with America's favorite mascot, Super Frog, onto the field. All kids who participate get a free Frogs jersey, courtesy of Cook Children's. See you game day at the Carter, and don't forget to bleed purple.
Second half kickoff is minutes away. But first, a preview of the halftime adjustments made by Coach Sonny Dykes and staff with our exclusive locker room report. Elvis is back in the building.
Well, the biggest adjustment might have been the cleats, fellas. They went in there. They definitely changed cleats. They got out of here early. They've been working on the field. Not a lot to talk about on defense. It was about doing the simple things, winning your one-on-ones, really challenge the guys to start winning your one-on-one battles. Offense, they like the way that they finished a half. Got to have good tempo. They talked a little bit about taking care of that inside and blocking those big men up, but that's a little bit of the changes or adjustments that Sonny Dykes' group made at halftime.
All right, thank you much, Elvis. Here's the kickoff to start the second through the back of the end zone. And we'll see the Frog offense now to start this second half, trailing 27-10. Let's see if those cleats make a difference.
I'm all for the cleats, but I'm looking for an attitude adjustment as well.
Saw a little bit of it at the end of the half.
Sure.
With this offensive unit. Hoover out there now. One back with him, it's Jeremy Payne. Two receivers to the left. One to the right side now. For the quarterback, Hoover is going to operate here out of the shotgun, maybe changing the play. Play clock's at 8. Out of the gun, takes a snap, turn, hand it off Payne. Payne right up the middle, and Jeremy's going to take it to the 30-yard line. That's 5 on first down. He's seeing something there, Marshall, that we've seen him check to a couple of different times.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're starting under center some of these times for communication so his lineman can hear him if he has to check.
2nd and 5 now at the 30. Two receivers left, one right. Hoover out of the gun. Payne stays there. They're going to hand it to him again. Jeremy right up the middle. That gets another 5, maybe 6, and it is 6, up to the 36-yard line. Same play.
Same play, but you saw, if you notice in the backfield, Jeremy Payne, kind of a stutter step, a hesitation. Yes. He's letting his offensive line blocks be established and then hitting a hole, using that explosion to get to the line, and that is a recipe for success in the run game.
I think he heard you. Two receivers left, one right. To throw it this time, Hoover. Tuck it under. Here's Hoover. Bouncing right, sliding forward to about the 38-yard line. Boy, if he tucks it immediately and runs left, he had some space. Picks up a couple. 2nd down and 8 here.
And I'm okay with him tucking it and still having his eyes downfield. That's still not his game, is to be a scrambler. But he's doing a good job of extending plays when there's pressure in his lap. But he's looking downfield, going through his progression. And if there's nothing there, he's at least getting positive yards.
Two receivers left again. One right. Hoover, Payne, standing to his right. 2nd and 8. Snap comes back. Hoover gives Payne. Payne this time bounces it out left, cuts it upfield, slips down with the new cleats to the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Now you're in 3rd down now. 3rd down and 4. And Elvis, this feels like 4-down territory for the Horned Frogs in this game already.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that they're going to take that mentality and that approach. I feel like Manjack, well, I just saw him kind of sub out, but boy, he was looking good. Actually got away one time. Josh just didn't see him down the middle of the field.
They'll go 5 wides. Rodgers, the tight end of the slot left. 3rd down now at 4. Now Payne's going to rejoin the backfield. Snap comes back. Hoover needs 4. In the pocket, looking right, comeback route. Catch made. 47-yard line. McAllister on his feet, 40, and down to the 38. That's enough for a first down. You're in BYU territory after the gain of 20 there as Hoover finds his man, Eric McAllister.
And we mentioned Hoover and McAllister getting into it on the sideline. McAllister wanting more targets. Right there, he does a really good job getting separation. Hoover puts it on his chest.
Out of the gun. Play action for Hoover. With time, looking, flush now, rolling to his left. Josh trying to get to the edge and just gets it upfield here to about the 34-yard line. It's all right. That's 4 on first down. You'll take that. We've seen Hoover running more tonight than at any point this year, I think.
Listen, coming out of the half, you got Jeremy Payne with more patience, the offensive line with better blocking, and Josh Hoover, even if guys aren't open immediately downfield, keeping his eyes downfield and then scrambling for positive yardage. This keeps you in manageable operations. That's now 2nd and 6. This is doable. If you're Kendall Briles, you've got a lot of options right now.
2nd down. Play clock's at 8. BYU substitutes late. They'll take their time getting off the field. 3, 2, 1. And a timeout taken here by TCU.
TCU takes their first charge.
Let's see if the BYU fans boo that. Because they booed earlier when TCU took their time going off the field.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not here.
Yeah,
I don't think I hear any boos.
Absolutely.
No.
It's just convenient. You know, we all have our levels.
Oh, sure. It's part of the game this day and age. Timeout of the field, 11:37 to play in this third quarter. Frogs are facing a 2nd down and 7 at the 34 of BYU. And we get back after this word from Evan Williams.
Hey, college football fans, it's sideline reporter Molly McGrath teaming up with Evan Williams Bourbon to welcome you to Bourbon Nation, the home of game day's #1 pour. We're celebrating every snap from coast to coast because it doesn't matter what colors you wear as long as Evan's there. Find a bottle near you at evanwilliams.com and enjoy the smooth, rich taste of my favorite Kentucky bourbon at your next tailgate. Go Frogs! Evan Williams Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky, 43% alcohol by volume, must be 21 plus. Enjoy responsibly.
At Texas Health, we're proud to support TCU. From primary care to urgent care, from our growing number of hospitals to at-home care and virtual visits, Texas Health offers more ways to connect with the care you need, so you can spend more time on what matters most, like watching the game. Learn more at texashealth.org/TCU. And go Frogs!
Kohl's has 20% off gifts that are so good, your family might think you read their minds. Check off your list now with cozy, thoughtful, and stylish gifts that will make them say, "How did you know?" Yep, with these presents from Kohl's, you're going to leave them feeling impressed and convinced that you're a psychic. Shop Kohl's for an extra 20% off gifts that are the perfect fit. Select styles. Offer ends November 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
BYU, tonight's game brought to you by EECU, the official credit union of the Horned Frogs, and by Ideal Partners, improving the places we live, work, and play. So far this drive to open the second half, 5 runs, 1 pass. I'm not sure we thought that would be the case in the second half.
I mean, definitely not. But listen, we saw a game today. If you watch college football, Texas A&M was down 30-3 at half.
Yep.
This game was not completely out of reach where you felt like you had to throw every single time.
Good point.
But ultimately, TCU's got to score touchdowns. And so getting one-dimensional so quickly that it makes your offense less efficient doesn't help them right now. So the runs have been still good runs. It's not running for the sake of running. They're good runs. Jeremy Payne, I think, is ready to really bust one. But hopefully, you're setting up some play-action passes. And then ultimately, Eric McAllister and Jordan Dwyer are going to have to win their one-on-one matchups on the edge in the pass game.
Elvis, you may not know the answer to this, but that was a long conversation between Sonny Dykes and Tatu Salam, the official here during that timeout.
Well, I think it was exactly about that late substitution. I think they felt like they got it around 15 seconds, and he just walked off the field, whether the sub was. He just didn't like that they had to use a timeout.
Nate Palmer in the backfield stands to the left here of Hoover. 2nd down and 7. Palmer reverses. They throw the screen. Caught right by Manjack. 1st down and more inside the 20-yard line. And down to the 19 of the Sewell red zone goes Joseph Manjack. It's the first time we've seen that play, I believe. That's Isaiah Glasker finally on the tackle. It goes for 15 yards.
You've seen a lot of that kind of play action fake where the running back goes into the dot while Josh is in the pistol or shotgun into the wide receiver screen. But a really timely call. Get the ball in Manjack's hands so he can make some noise after he gets the catch.
He comes in motion across the formation. 1st down at 10 of the 19-yard line. Movement up front, no call. Hoover back shoulder throw, incomplete. Look at McAllister's way. It'll bring him 2nd down and 10 now at the 19.
Yeah, that felt disjointed there from the beginning. Yeah. You're almost bracing for a flag there, but no flag. But kind of a wasted play there. Josh Hoover throwing it out of bounds up top.
2nd and 10 now. Hoover on the night. 9 of 16, 177 yards. Last time these two teams met in 2023, Josh made his first complete start, 459 yards and 4 scores. 2nd and 10 of the 19. Hoover this time. With a back end, it's Payne. Jeremy gets the handoff and not much there. 3rd down now. 3rd down and 7 upcoming. That might not have been Payne. Was that Payne or Palmer? That was Payne. That was Palmer. Yep. That was Palmer on the carry. Yeah.
Tom, it feels like it's just a simple game that if he gets too high, they're running it. If they go to one high and they drop back 50, he's trying to throw it over the top. That's one thing the coaches talked about at halftime. Take what they give you.
3rd down now. 3rd and 7. Hoover out of the gun. Snap back again. They bring the linebacker untouched. Hoover rolls right, finds a man underneath, and Dwyer flat out dropped it. I mean, drops it at the 11-yard line.
Dwyer was open from the word go there on that little shallow drag route. Hoover gets flushed right, but he's got to get the ball on him sooner. Dwyer still has to catch that ball.
Oh, yeah.
That has to be a 1st down conversion, but TCU being their own worst enemy there.
Yeah, but he's got to catch that.
Absolutely.
4th down now. 4th and 7. Frogs are going to settle for 3 here. They'll send out McCashlin. It's made from 22 on the night. This one would be a 33-yarder from the right half. Making a 2-score game. McCashlin's field goal is good. 27-13 right now. BYU with a 14-point lead on the Horned Frogs. McCashlin able to chip that one in. The Horned Frogs to open the second half with a score. Take that at this point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You'd love getting in the red zone is so crucial. You'd love to come away with 6 points. But again, TCU is now down 14. It feels bigger, the gap between them, than it really is.
Right.
So if you play good defensive possessions, which they have not yet, BYU has scored on all 5 possessions. But if you play good defense, it doesn't take much to get right back in this game.
Elvis, we saw one player slip down, but for the most part, the cleat change may have helped, huh?
Hey, they're still over here backpedaling, and Coach got them warming up, making sure that they feel good.
All right, time out of the field. 10-13 to play in the 3rd. Frogs down 27-13 right now to Baylor. Back after this timeout, and a word from Barbasol.
A smooth, close Barbasol shave in the morning lifts your confidence. That rich, creamy lather will catapult you to greatness. Nothing can stop you today. Well, except that traffic jam. Barbasol. It's a can of can-do.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
What makes your local Liberty Tax the best choice for professional tax services? At Liberty Tax, we offer free consultations in a stress-free environment, and we'll get to know your unique tax situation. If you're stressed about your taxes, need help planning for the future, or have questions about tax credits, we've got you covered. Visit LibertyTax.com to book an appointment. Liberty Tax, your trusted tax experts for life. Valid at participating locations. See website for details and eligibility.
Life's too short to live in Dallas. That's the motto at Railhead. It's on the walls and the staff shirts. Railhead Smokehouse offers a spectacular menu of heaping plates of ribs, sliced beef, fries, and cheddar peppers. With weekday specials and their world-famous ice-cold schooners of beer and margaritas. From the barbecue landmark at 2900 Montgomery, just off I-30. Remember, the best barbecue in Fort Worth is at Railhead Smokehouse, home of the Sunny Dykes radio show Mondays at 6 p.m.
All right, 10-13 to play in the 3rd quarter. We welcome you back to Provo, Utah. We're right at the base of the Wasatch Mountains here in Provo, just south of Salt Lake on I-25, which Elvis reminded me is only like 5 hours from Vegas. I don't know why he knew that. But nonetheless, the Horned Frogs with a field goal from McCashlin, score on the opening drive of the second half to make it a 27-13 game. 14-point lead right now. Now the Frogs will kick it to BYU, and we'll see them offensively in this second half. That first half for BYU, 5 drives, 5 scores for BYU.
Yeah, the TCU defense, we're going to see what kind of adjustments they made at half, but there wasn't a whole lot of good to come out of that first half, but hopefully the cleat situation, I'm tired of hearing about cleats. I hope it's rectified and they can go play ball, because they were also not tackling well, not pushing the pocket, and not taking great angles, and the communication was poor. So, hey, there's some things to work on.
All right, now to kick it off, McCashland. From right to left, Cannon DeVries is back deep to receive this one. This one's going to go out the back of the end zone. Quick rehash, if you would, Elvis, of the adjustments that Andy Avalos talked about at halftime with his defense. What should we see here in this second half?
Well, the biggest thing was, like I said, he challenged the one-on-ones. He talked about, okay, you got to play with eye control. Communication getting lined up is always talked about. I'm not too sure if that was a big issue in the first half, but he definitely talked about you got to do your one-on-ones, the simple things. They talked a little bit about the run game, but I don't think that was a problem as much as the coverage just couldn't hold up.
Bear Bachmeier with L.J. Martin in the backfield. Bachmeier in at quarterback. Out of the shotgun, takes the snap, gives to Martin, running left, breaks a tackle in 2 and 3, and gets 11 on first down. Tackle finally made by Jamel Johnson of the Horned Frogs.
That was just a simple zone play there, just a continuation from the first half of L.J. Martin not really getting touched until he's 3 or 4 yards down the field. The line of scrimmage getting moved, and TCU having to wrap up and make a play when he's almost at the first down mark, or in that case, falling forward over the first down mark.
10 carries for 57 yards for L.J. Martin, 1st and 10 now. 35-yard line. Martin stays in the backfield to the right of Bachmeier here. They'll give it to LJ again, and why not? He'll take it out left-hand side this time and punched out of bounds by Vernon Glover, and he gets a 7 on this carry.
And you got to give L.J. Martin credit, but TCU is just getting washed down on the edges again. Obi Izor has to scrape over the edge, but Devin Deal is just getting washed into the mix, and L.J. Martin is just getting a free run to the edge and not getting touched again until he's 7 yards down the field.
Second down now, 2nd and 3. 3 receivers to the right. Out of the shotgun works Bachmeier. From the 42-yard line, here comes that option. Bachmeier with a late pitch. Martin turns it upfield and gets it near the 50-yard line. Another first down to the 48. Frogs defended it a little bit better this time. Still a 7-yard gain. Jamel Johnson gets credit for the tackle.
Yeah, that was the touchdown run from before, was just a speed option there to the short side, or to the weak side for BYU. That time they take Bear Bachmeier, but there's not a man for the pitch key. Elvis, you know about that, having guys accounted for both the runner and the pitch key.
And I think the communication is a little bit better. I think we're getting beat up inside now, which is probably going to be, which will be a problem if it doesn't stop.
1st and 10 now at the 49. Bachmeier in the pocket, flushed out, rolling to his left. Frogs try to bottle him up, get him down here at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6. Elarms Orr on the tackle. And it'll bring up now 2nd down and 4. 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line. Under 8 minutes.
And you notice BYU's tempo is a little reduced.
Yep, they're slowing it down.
They are absolutely going to take their time.
Yeah, play clock's already down to 12 here. They had the huddle there, reducing the number of possessions. Scored on all 5 in the first half, trying to do it here on the opener as Nawahini on the or the carry, I should say. Nawahini for a gain of 2. 3rd down now. 3rd down and 2 upcoming.
What I'm noticing up front for TCU's defensive line, it was very similar to last week against Iowa State, is when teams show a lot of eye candy, which is, pre-snap motion, shifts, multiple guys going different directions, it feels like they kind of look up to peak, and that's when they're getting driven off the ball. They've got to find some penetration up front.
3rd and 2, Bachmeier pressured, steps up, deep ball, right side, man coverage, contact, no call. Pass intended for Chase Roberts. In coverage was Channing Canada, who actually did a pretty good job, even though the receiver fell down, Elvis.
He missed the guy that was open, and that was Parker Kingston. Lester was flat-footed. Parker gets inside of him, and he's wide open for 6. He chooses to go to the outside. There's a lot of grabbing and pulling. I wasn't so close to it to tell if it was a PI. Glad we didn't get the call, but we got lucky there because he had Kingston wide open.
4th down and 2 now. And BYU keeps the offense out there in this part of the field. L.J. Martin in the backfield. See if Bachmeier keeps it. Takes the snap, going to roll to his right, throws the fastball. Catch is made at the 31-yard line. Nice grab there for Chase Roberts. Such a big target. Gain of 12 on that one. Jordan Lester, the sophomore out of Mesquite Horn, was in coverage. He's getting a lot of run here tonight, Elvis, for Bud Clark. Is something up with Bud?
Well, I thought I saw Bud. I don't know if it was an ankle or a foot or something. I'm going to try to see what I can find out. But, yeah, this is a lot for 2-1 to be out.
2 receivers to the right. Quarterback now, Bachmeier on first down. 31-yard line, man in motion, 1 back in. Bachmeier play action, pressure comes up the middle, throws it. Caught by the tight end of the 20. Down to the 13-yard line goes Carson Ryan. Great recovery by Nambi Obi-Izor because Carson Ryan was wide open.
Yeah, we call that a tight end leak. He's on the field side, and he just kind of slow plays it. He's originally a blocker, and the TCU defense loses him into traffic. And with a leading throw by Bear Bachmeier, that's a touchdown for BYU.
Yeah, fortunately, there was a little bit of pressure that forced Bachmeier to throw that one off his back foot, and he could not get enough on it. By the way, that's the 25th first down for the Cougars. 2 receivers right, 1 left. 1 back, Martin snap. Bachmeier, he's going to keep it. Frogs get him down to the 16. Loss of 1 of the play, maybe 2. Paul Oyewale on the tackle. 2nd and 12 upcoming. Clock runs with 5:33 to play in this third quarter. TCU trails 27-13.
And listen, we talked about TCU on offense last time settling for a field goal. Yes, you settle for the field goal. You can make it a 14-point game, but the comeback is reliant on defensive stops. Yeah, duh. But this TCU defense is not only not getting stops, they're allowing so much of this clock, which is time being TCU's greatest enemy right now, to run off.
Marcus Deal in at nose tackle right now. 2nd down at 12. Namahini in the backfield. Take it to him. Bachmeier looking left. Coming back over the middle. With time. Flushed out. Rolling backwards now to his left. Just buying some time. He's back to the 36 and just simply throws it away. Pretty good move by the freshman. I mean, this guy's impressive. He's going to be another one of the long line of great quarterbacks that have come out of here.
Absolutely. Really athletic move to sense the pressure on his backside, on his blind side. He kind of reverses out. I was with a guy named Aaron Rodgers, not comparing the two, who kind of really made that famous, having kind of eyes in the back of his head. But I give TCU really a lot of credit. First down, a stop, with a run by Bachmeier, and that time really good coverage. This is the situations that you're trying to get in. You just wish that it didn't happen when they're already in the red zone.
3rd down now, 3rd and 12, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. L.J. Martin in the backfield. 5 and 7 on 3rd down. Martin's going to leave the backfield. Bachmeier going to throw the screen to him. L.J. catches it left, looking for some blocks and doesn't get him down to the 11-yard line. This is okay for this Frog defense. They bend, but don't break. Force a field goal here as Kylan Jackson finally made the tackle.
Yes, it's good enough right now, and it's better than a touchdown, obviously. But again, time is ticking away, but you'd rather this be a win that the offense can then go take and convert into a touchdown. So this is how these comebacks start, with full complementary team football.
Will Farron out now for the field goal attempt. He's made from 52 and 35. This one from 29 for the left hash for Farron. Will Farron's kick is up, and it is good. BYU adds to the lead, 30-13 now, 4:08 to go here in this third quarter. As Bear Bachmeier leads another scoring drive. They're 6 for 6 on their possessions in this ball game, resulting in points. He's 20 of 29, 273, and a touchdown. The freshman at quarterback. By the way, I'll give you guys a break to think about this. There have been some great ones over the years here at BYU at quarterback. Who's your fave? We'll talk about it when we get back after this timeout for our local stations on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
Fatherless boys face a troubled future. At Hope Farm, we guide at-risk boys to become Christ-centered men of integrity so families are strengthened and the cycle of fatherlessness is broken. At Hope Farm, we're a leadership program nurturing boys through high school with a life plan, accountability, and collaboration with parents and teachers to create lasting change. You can help support, volunteer, or give, and be part of our mission to build a stronger future for these young men and their families. Learn more at hopefarm.org.
Imagine blowing the frog horn, or getting exclusive pregame Moncrief Field access, or touring the press box, plus snapping photos with the Spirit members. Well, these are all part of the TCU game day experiences. To grab these premier opportunities, download the Riff Ram app or head to gofrogs.com/experiences. Remember, they go on sale every Monday of game week. Don't get that FOMO feeling. Be right in the middle of game day and bleed purple. .408 left here in this third quarter. The Horned Frogs find themselves down 30-13 right now to the BYU Cougars. A little Big 12 action. Scoring try for BYU, 12 plays, 64 yards, 6:05 off the clock. They settle for the 29-yard field goal. So the lead now, 30-13 for BYU. We're talking about Bear Buckmeyer, the freshman quarterback, good-looking quarterback here in Provo. It seems like they always have him over the years. There have been some great ones. I mean, you can go way back, but who's your favorite? Who's your favorite BYU quarterback of all time?
Well, I played against a couple. John Beck.
John Beck was a good one.
And then Max Hall also. But I think a guy that reminds people a lot of Bear Bachmeier is Taysom Hill. He was just a lot of fun.
Yes.
A lot of fun. I didn't play against him, but he was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and it's fun to see how the Saints have used him better than they are right now. But, I mean, he's not your prototypical. He's more like Bear.
Exactly.
As you said. But, Elvis, was there one that stood out for you?
Yeah, probably Beck. I mean, I think was Beck a part of that 05 team here?
Yes. Yep. Yes.
Okay, because I think, remind me, in that game, was it very similar to the way things are going today?
Oh, yeah. Came in the second half. Yeah, comeback. That's
right.
Guy by the name of Jeff Ballard led it.
That's right.
52-51 was that one?
51-50.
51-50, that's right. Yeah, and Ballard, one of his 19 victories as a starting quarterback.
Hey.
You guys, you kind of went, I'm not going to say modern era.
You wanted Steve Young.
I was going to go Steve Young.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Steve Young is my favorite BYU quarterback. But you've had some Gifford Nielsen back in the day was a good one here.
Sperry and I were walking the field a couple days ago recounting of all the historic BYU quarterbacks. Who do you think is the one that really led them to that shared national title?
Hold on. What year was that?
90, was it?
84?
84, excuse me.
84? Is that Robbie Bosco?
There you go.
Yeah. Here's the kickoff. Bosco put up big numbers, by the way. Fair catch signal for. And then what was strange to hear Sperry say that his favorite BYU quarterback of all time was Steve Sarkisian, which I would not have gone with that.
I doubt he said that. I'm just going to say.
You're going to defend him on that?
I'm going to defend him on that.
Yes. 4:08 to play the third. Yeah, you got Jim McMahon. You got, both Detmers played here, right? Did Coy play here as well? Ty and Coy Detmer played here. There's been some good ones over the years, man. Guys that put up big numbers. 1st and 10 now. Horned Frog offense. Let's see if they continue with the rhythm that we've seen really in that period of the game that Elvis likes to call the middle eight. Here's Hoover, left-hand side, and that one out of rhythm. Going to bring up second down. Jeremy Payne was out at wideout, and I don't think he got the message. He was on a sprint. Hoover threw it behind him. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Second down and 10 here from the 25-yard line. Jeremy Payne in the backfield now for Hoover. Out of the shotgun. Tight end to the left. Hoover takes the snap, hands it off Payne right up the middle, and Jeremy will push forward for nearly 5 to the 30. Clock runs with 3:55 to go. Max Alford, the linebacker, on the tackle.
TCU trying to get physical there with a 2 tight end set. Had some success with Jeremy Payne. I think that gets him in 3rd and manageable, so a successful down. But now, the most crucial down, 3rd down. What do they come out with? And ultimately, how do you execute with your best players? Josh Hoover, Eric McAllister, etc. It's about execution at this point.
Perfect spot for that slant and go, Elvis, you've been wanting.
Well, to me, it could be. But my concern is that I don't see McAllister in the game. So maybe this is, they're taking a timeout now.
TCU takes their second charge timeout of the half.
And that might have been because McAllister wasn't in the game. Eric standing there in that huddle as Sonny Dykes takes that timeout. Play clock was winding down. Facing 3rd and 5 right now is TCU from the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it felt like a combination of things. You mentioned Eric McAllister not in the mix, which is absent of injury.
Yep.
Kind of crazy. The play kind of got in late, and Josh Hoover, whether due to noise or whatnot, late getting that call relayed to the entire offense, and next thing you know, there's 4 seconds on the clock, and TCU down to 1 timeout.
Yep.
When you're trying to make a comeback, those timeouts are precious, and they have burned 2 of them, unfortunately.
McAllister's out there. By the way, correction earlier, I think I said Coy Detmer played here. He played in Colorado. All right, Lavelle Edwards Stadium seats 62,073, and they're all on their feet here right now. For 3rd down and 5. With McAllister going wide right, Manjack in the slot right. Wide left comes Dwyer. Frogs just 1 of 6 on 3rd down. Trent Battle in the backfield. 3rd and 5 for Hoover. BYU rushes 3, plays coverage. Hoover pumps once, looking, dumps it, and it's picked off. At the 44-yard line, Satula comes up with it. An interception here. Volley Tau. Satula comes up with his 3rd interception of the year. That's their first turnover the last 2 games.
And that just goes to show you the lack of coordination between Josh Hoover and his best player and just the offense as a whole. That play, his initial read's not there, so he extends the play. He has pretty good protection. You can see him signaling to his receivers to kind of break off their routes, make themselves friendly, which is just get yourself open, and he just throws it just out of the reach of Eric McAllister. But unfortunately, Satuala is right there and makes a really good catch.
I think if Hoover settles for Trent Battle there, Elvis, you at least got a fighting chance for a 1st down.
I was going to say the throw should have been backside to Dwyer, but we have busted his chops on not going to Eric enough.
Here's a handoff right up the middle, L.J. Martin. Martin's going to take it here to the 40-yard line. Gain of 3. It's the first time that either team has started beyond their own 25, as this drive for BYU starts at the 44-yard line.
I give BYU credit. That's just really impressive. Talking about starting field position, where they've gone on long, methodical drives, converting 1st downs, and this is the only first time really getting in plus territory. TCU's defense has not held up their end of the bargain, but they have a chance to continue to play hard and make a play here.
2nd and 7, man in motion. Bachmeier keeps it, dives up the middle to about the 37. Max Carroll on the tackle. And it'll bring up 3rd down now.
And fellas, I did get word that Bud Clark is officially out for the rest of the game.
Gotcha.
That explains a lot. We're not sure when he left, but Elvis talked about a lot of substitutions. Maybe they're just trying to find a combination of defensive guys in the backfield that work in absence of your senior leader, Bud Clark.
3rd down now, 3rd and 4. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Martin in the backfield. Bachmeier, Frogs bring pressure up the middle. Bachmeier throws it, back shoulder, incomplete, flag. Chase Roberts, the intended target. Let's check the call.
Pass interference, defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a completed pass for a 1st down.
They're going to call that a catch? I thought he was clearly out of bounds. He's standing out of... Was he not standing out of bounds when he caught that?
It looked very much
on the field of a completed pass is under further review.
Okay.
Javon McIver on coverage there is right there. Yes, there's a little bit of hand fighting, a lot of physicality on the sidelines, but that is most definitely an incomplete pass, and even furthermore, maybe a questionable pass interference call. We're going to find out.
He steps out of bounds before he catches it, does he not?
Yes, that's ineligible, right? Or illegal touching.
Yeah, right foot's out of bounds, makes a grab. This review brought to us by Barbasol, by the way. They're taking a look at this one. It happened right in front of Sonny Dykes, who was standing there. Now he's having a conversation with an official. He and Jeff Jordan. Jordan, of course, carries the analytics book with him to assist coach in time management, things like that. Ryan Dorchester slowly making his way down there. He's the general manager for this team. He put this roster together, so this is Ryan Dorchester's roster, and he's been standing down to the far end of the field for much of the night by himself. 1st and 10 if stand.
We're seeing multiple reviews here in the stadium, and it just, again, to reiterate, it's a pass down the right sideline. BYU receiver steps out of bounds. Whether he was forced out by pass interference or not, he steps out of bounds, which makes him illegal to touch the ball first. Chase Roberts.
After review, the receiver was out of bounds when he touched the pass. By rule, this is an incomplete pass. We will enforce the pass interference against number 20 of TCU. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's a tough penalty, fellas.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the wet surface had something to do with him slipping. And I think McIver was physical enough, not overly physical, to draw a flag there. And they just can't catch a break. I just don't think that was a good flag.
Spot this one at the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 there. Now they move it back to the 22. Yeah, that's accurate. All right, 1st and 10 for the 22 now. For BYU, they lead at 30-13 here with 1:50 to play in this third quarter. Two receivers to the right. Bringing an extra running back here. They got 3 in the backfield now. Namahini and L.J. Martin. Bachmeier in that pistol formation with a sidecar. Now picks the reverse. Running right with it. They get him down to the 22-yard line. Nice recovery there. Parker Kingston on the carry. The Frogs were able to close down quickly.
Another end around there by BYU. An incredible fill by Kylan Jackson. We talk about him being a missile. Sometimes that works against him. That time it worked in his favor. He takes a great angle and smacks the ball carrier. Exactly what you're supposed to do. Staying home and filling with aggression on the backside of those end arounds.
You've liked his physicality, Elvis, in the short time that you've seen him play.
Very physical football player. That's what he wants to do. He wants to come downhill, hit people in the mouth. I think he's still kind of learning the system. Obviously, first year here. He's going to continue to get better, but he's really physical.
Yeah, sometimes runs a little too fast downhill. He's got 8 missed tackles on the year. Here's Bachmeier, slant, catch made, tight end, inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. Carson Ryan, 1st and goal for BYU at the 6 now. With 1 minute left in this third quarter. That's a 16-yard reception.
And I've said this about TCU, a couple games where they played a lot of their tight ends, it feels like such a luxury to have big bodies like that who can run routes and have sure hands. That time, Carson Ryan runs an in-breaking route. He gets separation and catches it pure, and it's just a tough guy to bring down.
1st and goal at the 6. Bachmeier hands it off Martin. Second effort gets him to the 3. 2.5 maybe. 2nd and goal. Might be the last play of the quarter. Let's see if Kalani tries to get one more in. You're down to 22 seconds in the quarter, and I think he will let it run. They'll switch ends here. Cougars are going to head north, and they'll do it with a 30-13 lead right now on the Horned Frogs. Back we come to Lavelle Edwards Stadium after this timeout, and a word from Frost Bank.
At Frost, we believe in going the extra mile, like opening more locations to be a part of more communities. Overdraft grace, which means no fee if you overdraw your Frost Personal or Frost Plus account by $100 or less. And the little things like cookies, coffee, or that time when there was a fire at a Fort Worth daycare and Frost bankers entertained 26 kids with snacks and games until their parents could pick them up. That actually happened. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Ever had an aha moment, that feeling when you finally try something new and wonder why you waited so long? Well, here's yours. 20% of car loans are now 84 months. That's 7 years of high payments and likely ending upside down when you trade it in. D&M Leasing can help you skip the long terms with lower monthly payments. Join over 50,000 happy customers on the road today. Call 817 or 214-35-LEASE or visit dmautoleasing.com today.
We make leasing easy at D&M.
Ready for the start of the fourth quarter here in Provo tonight. The Horned Frogs are down 30-13. Cougars threatening here. Have it first down and goal to go. Calling all Horned Frogs, make your next game day or any day extra special at Bob's Steak and Chop House, located in the Omni Fort Worth Hotel, just minutes from the TCU campus. Whether you're celebrating a win or gathering with fellow fans, Bob's legendary prime steaks, fine wines, and warm hospitality make it a Fort Worth tradition we're cheering for. Bob's Steak and Chop House, the Omni Hotel downtown.
It's a fever dream out here right now.
Is that what this is? Big celebration going on between quarters.
There's very large Polynesians. They're shirtless with fire and fireworks. There's quite the show to start the fourth quarter.
Not a drop of alcohol inside either.
You know, they have one of the great mascots, Cosmo the Cougar. Real acrobatic mascot is part of this as well. Through three quarters, by the way, BYU 434 yards of total offense, 289 through the air from Bachmeier, 145 on the ground. They've got 27 first downs. TCU's got 79 on the ground, 177 through the air, 256 of total offense, and 11 first downs in this ball game. Trailing 30-13 right now, 17-point margin with a quarter to work with. Got to keep him out of the end zone here. If you're TCU, where it's second and goal, I should say, at the 3 coming up. Tradition here at BYU Lavelle Edwards Stadium between this third and fourth quarter. We were talking earlier about the quarterbacks that have come through, like Jim McMahon and, of course, Steve Young. Andy Reid is a BYU grad, head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Stephen Covey, who wrote 7 Habits of Highly Successful People.
All right.
Franklin Covey's system. You might have been a part of that at one point. Johnny Miller, the golfer, is a BYU grad. Mitt Romney, who ran for president. How about this one? You know the name Ken Jennings?
I do. Jeopardy.
Exactly. He's a BYU alum. And so is John Heater.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes, Napoleon Dynamite.
You're talking my generation.
He's a BYU grad. How about that? John Heater. Second and goal now at the 3-yard line for BYU. They're going to call it a 2 sprint out of the huddle here. To climb under center, hand it off to Martin, and Martin's going to be hit immediately. That didn't fool anyone. It'll bring up third down now. That'll be 3rd and 3.
TCU were doing a really good job there, matching the personnel and the physicality that BYU was trying to do. They're just trying to shove it down your throat. And what are you going to do? What kind of pride are you going to have, TCU defensive line, on that rep, standing up and making sure they earn this?
3rd and goal at the 3 now. Sprint out of the huddle. Bachmeier climbs under center. He's got 2 extra linemen in this formation to the right. Handed off to Martin running that side. He gets upended and down before he gets to the goal line. Now you're 4th and goal at the 1-foot line, up 17. Why not, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. That time doing something we've seen familiar tonight. A little sweep to L.J. Martin, but this time without a running back typically in the backfield. He makes a cut and almost scores. TCU does a good job of pursuing and making this a tough decision for BYU.
4th and goal at the 1. Bachmeier, the quarterback, has Martin in the backfield with him. Let's see what they dial up here. Offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick. Snap comes back. Bachmeier, penalty marker comes in as Martin walks in, but let's see what this flag's about. Is this one on the offense? Martin has scored.
Offside. Defense lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Yeah, those plays, typically they let them go if they're on the defense.
Yep.
And when they didn't blow it dead, it kind of started to tell you what was going on. Unfortunately, TCU on the bad end of the penalty and the touchdown score.
36-13 now. BYU leads it. Will Farron for the point after. The kick is up and it is good. And by the way, for those of you who are smart enough to be watching it on television with the sound down, Marshall, explain just what just happened. As one of the officials sprinted in right before the kick and slid the defensive tackle for the Horned Frogs over.
Yeah, they don't allow you to what they call cover up the snapper. Those long snappers on field goal and punt are typically protected, and so they don't allow you. They used to let you just rush and tee off on them, and they changed that rule, I think, in college and in the pros. So the refs give you a chance to kind of adjust, and if you don't adjust, they'll call covering up the snapper, but they don't allow you to just tee off on the snapper.
I like the fact the official did walk in, though, and say, knocked him on the side. Kind of, hey, slide over, buddy.
Little love tap.
Exactly. All right. Extra point is good. Horned Frogs trail 37-13 now to BYU. Time out of the field. Back we come after this local word on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes on TCU's campus is having a tremendous impact in the lives of coaches and athletes at TCU. They're impacting their lives through weekly Bible studies, mentorship, one-on-one weekly discipleship. TCU FCA is not only helping our coaches and athletes to be champions in their particular sport, but more importantly, they're helping them be champions in life. To learn more about FCA, go to tcufca.org to have a lasting impact in students and coaches at TCU.
Stay in the know with all things TCU athletics anytime, anywhere on your mobile device by downloading the Riff Ram app. The Riff Ram app is the official TCU athletics mobile app. With it, you get breaking news and score updates, plus live game play-by-play and game statistics with all of the info that you need on game day. Stay in the know with the Riff Ram app. Download it today through the iTunes App Store or get it at Google Play and bleed purple. 13:36 left in this ball game, 37-13. BYU leading it here on TCU. Tonight's game brought to you by Texas Health, here to help every fan be their healthiest self, no matter their stage of life. Learn more, texashealth.org/TCU. All right, 37-13, BYU leads it here on the Horned Frogs. Stations, let's pause. 10 seconds for station identification here on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield. Going to be decision time now. 13:36 left. Clock starting to run out of time here. Down 37-13.
Yeah, they're going to have to be in up-tempo mode right here. Every receiver who catches the ball has got to sprint it back to the hash, to the nearest referee, and everybody's just got to have high urgency. You have no more time left, no more chances left. You've got to put your best foot forward to make this even a chance with 13:36 left to go.
And you mentioned it, though. We saw it earlier today. Texas A&M came back from 30-3 on South Carolina. Fair catch called for. Frogs will have it in the 25. Major Everhart signals it. Frog offense comes back out there. Seventh time the Horned Frogs have had the football. All 7 of them have started at the 25-yard line.
What that means is they have not forced a punt tonight.
Right. Also really haven't attempted a kickoff return. John Denman, they've been fair catching him in play. In the backfield is Denman, the freshman running back, gets a carry, nothing there. Maybe loses a half yard. Second down upcoming. Akana on the tackle.
Yeah, just another one of those quote-unquote zone reads, but it's not a zone read because Hoover is not a threat to keep the ball. So the defensive end just crashes down, and Denman doesn't have a chance.
2nd and 11. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left-hand side now. Josh out of the shotgun. 4 down lineman throws underneath. Catch made by Manjack. Tried to break out of a tackle. Couldn't quite do it at the 30-yard line. Maury Bamba holds on. And now it's third down and 5 at the 30 with 12:55 to play.
Yeah, that was a quick little out there. Josh leaves it just a little bit behind Manjack, and Bamba breaks on the ball. Manjack with strong hands right there to put TCU in third and short, third and medium.
As Conway is wide to the right-hand side. No McAllister right there. All right, we got Jordan Dwyer in. Here's Hoover to throw it. Yeah, McAllister. They looking right, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Ezukama, and now it's 4th down. The Frogs will punt.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a scheduled thing. McAllister's dinged up, or they're just giving the younger guys some run, but not having your best receiver out there just doesn't give you a whole lot of a shot right there on third down.
We thought we would see some of Terry Shelton tonight. They told us that the freshman out of Carrollton, who they want to get a little bit of time as well. 6'4", wide receiver out of Ranchview. 4th and 5, crawled to punt it away. Third time tonight. Back deep is Kingston. Line drive punt. Hits Kingston. On the hop. Returning left. 30. Runs into his old man, and down he goes to the 37-yard line. 44-yard effort. 11 on the return. 2.9 on the hang time. And by the way, give credit to Kyle Keeler, who's the deep snapper, who just kind of got in the way there of the defender and really disrupted things.
I was just about to say, I'll give him more than credit. His defender was blocking him, and he pushes the defender into the return man. Just really good effort from the long snapper, who you don't always rely on to have the best tackling skills, but to get in the way and force a returner one way or the other, he does a little bit of both right there.
Timeout of the field. Frogs down 37-13, 12:16 left. Back after this from Albertsons.
When you shop Tom Thumb online or in our app, you can count on us to shop your order with the same care you would and have it ready for pickup or delivery in as little as 30 minutes. Plus, save $30 off your first online order and let Tom Thumb take the hassle out of shopping while racking up the savings. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop online at TomThumb.com or in the app. Tom Thumb, DFW's local grocer since 1948.
Hey, Horned Frog fans, it's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to TCU football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the TCU Horned Frogs. Let's go, Horned Frogs! SeatGeek.
He's got the speed. He's got room. He's going to score.
No one gets you closer to the game than Sirius XM College Sports Radio.
For the win. Got it. Let's go.
Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered anywhere you go.
Deep to center field. Oh, it's gone.
Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
Kyle Field in College Station, but rallied back on the back of quarterback Marcel Rudy, threw for 439 yards and 3 touchdowns as A&M outscores South Carolina 28-0 in the second half to win it 31-30. But something interesting developing in the race for the college football playoff as 24th-ranked South Florida lost today on the road at Navy. And so who's going to grab that group of 5 spot? It could be James Madison playing in the college football playoff, guys, but still a lot to be decided for that group of 5 spot in the playoff.
And the talk there is going to be the JMU schedule, right? The fact that it has not necessarily been the toughest. Or no, was it that's who beat them today? Wow. Yeah, the schedule has not been the most difficult, but he's done that guy's done a nice job coming from Holy Cross. And now the head coach of James Madison picked up where they had left off. All right, now it's 1st and 10 for BYU. With 12:16 to go at the 37-yard line. Martin's in the backfield. LJ gets the carry, and LJ's going to get it up to the 39-yard line. I was listening to Dave run through the scores there, Marshall. I was checking them on my phone as well. Just looking at the Big 12. And again, Arizona, they're 7-3 all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You win and beat Cincinnati on the road. Even Oklahoma State, who you would think would be done at 1-9, played K-State tough today.
Yes, they did. They did. They have a lot of questions going on in their program.
Yep.
And for them to play tough, it says a lot.
Second down now. 2nd and 8 for BYU. Wideouts to either side. Bachmeier hands it off. LJ Martin finding his way to about the 43-yard line. 3rd down upcoming. 11:25 to go.
Tackled by number 34, Harry Cole Jr., and number 11, Tevin Fields. Gain of 4 on the play, brings up 3rd.
Frog defense now facing a 3rd down and 4. This tradition at BYU that we were talking about earlier, there's 7 sets of brothers on this roster.
Whoa.
Think about that. There are 12 players whose fathers played at BYU who are on this roster.
It's all in the family here.
Yes, it is. 3rd down now. 3rd and 4. Frogs shifting late defensively. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left-hand side. Bachmeier with time. Dumped over the middle, and it's incomplete. Knocked down, and a nice job there defensively up front for the Frogs to get a hand on that one. Now it's 4th down and 4, and BYU will punt it. That was Marcus Deal, and that's the first stop of the day for the TCU defense to force a punt.
Marcus Deal doing a good job getting his hands up there to bat the ball down. TCU finally getting off the field, but unfortunately it feels like a little bit too late. But you appreciate guys still fighting,
yes,
still figuring things out.
See if they come after the punter here. Maybe it's Zach Chapman who actually hit that football. Punted away, and it's a beauty. Dwyer fair catches the knuckleball at the 16-yard line. 41-yard effort, 4.1 on the hang time for Fuller Shirts. Getting the opportunity today. He's out of Katy, Texas.
He's got a fresh leg.
Yeah, he does. He has not punted this year until that one there. We got the opportunity, made the most of it. Yeah, we were talking 7 sets of brothers, 12 players with fathers that played at BYU. Average age on the BYU roster is 21.5.
That's kind of a new thing. We're used to BYU rosters averaging higher.
They are, yeah, they are. Even though there are 56 players on this roster who've been on a mission. Nate Palmer in the backfield. 1st and 10. Hoover hands it off. Running right is Palmer. He's down to the 19, maybe the 20-yard line. Give him 4. 2nd and 6 upcoming. Satula on the tackle. Second down upcoming.
Another drive without Eric McAllister. Oh, excuse me. Is he down there at the bottom? I think maybe he just was dinged up.
Yep, I think he just checked in. Yep. 2 receivers right. That's McAllister's side. Hoover to throw the football. Comes freed as a defender. Knocks him down to the 12-yard line. It's Evan Johnson who came on the corner blitz. But how about this, Elvis? Jay Hill still dialing it up here in this 4th quarter, up 37-13.
Yeah, timely blitz. Boy, he did a good job. I mean, you got to give Evan Johnson a great job of coming down. Nobody picked him up. Nobody saw it coming. Hoover was just blindsided by it. Great call at the right time.
His dad, Ron, was a wide receiver for the Eagles back in the day. 3rd and 13. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. McAllister is right. They throw it over the middle through his hands, through a defender's hands, and into 4th down, and the Frogs will punt.
Yeah, Josh Hoover steps up in the pocket, and there's some heat on that ball.
Yes.
Passes that you expect Eric McAllister to catch, but just not a lot of opportunity there.
As your former teammate Tom Brady said, he threw the 1 ball there. You know?
Yes, he did.
Threw the 1 ball. Could have thrown the 4, but he threw the 1. Through the fastball. Alford is the injured player, Max Alford for BYU. 4th down now. You know, that was the thing about Tom Brady. He didn't throw the one ball often. He threw with a lot of touch.
That was I think, one of the best things about him is that he knew each receiver. They worked so much just outside the confines of practice.
Yep.
He and Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola and Gronk, they worked in the offseason when no one was around. You know, there's pictures of Tom taking his shoulder pads to the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah.
But that's how they got right. That's how they understood what to expect from each other. And as you said, he just knew the exact kind of touch to put on and how to lead guys, how to lead them away from big hits.
Yep.
He was just the best at that. And it's not something that happens by accident.
By the way, Frogs punted for 50 yards to Ethan Crow out of bounds at the 35-yard line to Parker Kingston. That's where BYU will have it. He was the first guy I remember that they said would throw guys open. You know, that was the first time I heard that from analysts saying Tom Brady throws receivers open, meaning puts it in a spot where they come to the football and they're going to all of a sudden be open even if they're covered.
Yeah, that's part of it. Also, you know, you talk about QB evaluation with guys going to the next level to the NFL and being evaluated. It's anticipation. It's knowing.
It's all timing, right?
Pre-snap reads and then post-snap reads. And so if they're in a zone, I know that gap.
Yeah.
My guy's not there yet, but he's supposed to be there. I know he should be there. I trust him, and I put it over a linebacker, in between a safety, a little deep out, and so that's throwing guys open. There's a lot of quarterbacks now who we've seen do interviews about how difficult the positions play, the ins and outs. Drew Brees is one of those where they're throwing blind sometimes. It's a crazy thing to think about.
I know,
but they're throwing without a receiver being in their field of vision.
Yeah.
But they've repped it so much, they know the routes, they trust their guys so much that they're throwing to a spot and not a guy.
And they know that defense, what they're seeing, is not going to be there.
Absolutely.
Wow. You know, the thing about Tom Brady, too, and I know you had a chance to spend a couple of years with him. The thing about Tom Brady, not the most athletic.
No.
But he obviously knew the timing, as you talked about, knew when to put touch on the football. But then you would also see him when he would get visibly upset with a teammate. It was because of what you were just saying. That teammate was not where he was supposed to be, more than likely, right?
Yeah, high accountability, just all the time. I played for the Patriots in 2019.
Yep.
And the minute you get there, it's the standard of what's expected of you is sky high. Mm-hmm. And that's everybody in the building. And Tom held himself to that standard. I played with Marcus Cannon, who was there for most of his career. He held himself to that standard. That's just how it was in that building. And then you're talking about QBs. We talk about mobility.
Yep.
And you see a lot of college quarterbacks who run and are athletic. Mobility does not mean your 40 is fast. It doesn't mean your 5-10-5 shuttle is particularly fast. Tom Brady was one of the best ever at pocket mobility. He felt where pressure was. He knew how to, rip the ball through and get his body in position, all with his eyes being downfield and finding the little pockets. Just get it another 1/10 of a second, another 1/2 a second to get a guy open. That's true mobility at the highest level.
Great footwork, right?
Footwork was prime. It was absolutely prime.
Were you ever on the other end of one of those chewing outs from Tom Brady?
Yeah, I've been chewed out before.
By him?
A little bit. I was newer there, so I think they had a little more patience. But yeah, I mean, it didn't matter who you were. The standard was the standard.
Yep. You don't have to repeat it on the air. You probably can't. 1st and 10 now. All right, BYU's got it at their 37-yard line after that timeout. L.J. Martin in the backfield. Bachmeier's going to keep it with a lead blocker at his tight end, Carson Ryan, who gets him across the 40 to the 41-yard line. I like this offense, Elvis. I really do. I mean, there's another look that I don't think we've seen here tonight. That was had a lead blocker in front of him to the quarterback, Bachmeier, able to get to the edge.
Yeah, I think it was Isaiah Jata. He's a good left tackle. They got two really good tackles. I think the guards play really hard. Man, Bachmeier, obviously, he's had an outstanding night. But this team has really bounced back from last week's loss. They're going to get right back in the conversation of a playoff team, especially because it's strong. The culture is here.
Tight end to the left-hand side, handed off right up the middle. To the line of scrimmage, L.J. Martin. Aaron Roderick is their offensive coordinator. He's been here a couple of different stints at BYU. Was a wide receiver here back in the day. Started his career at Snow College and then here at BYU as a wide receiver, 96. also was the offensive coordinator. This is hard to do in this part of the country. He was the offensive coordinator at Utah from 2010 to 2016, and then came to BYU. That's hard to do.
That's crossing the train tracks right there.
Did get a stint as a head coach, though, at one point as well. Throw it the flat left. Catch is made here, turning it up across the 45 to the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. Tiger Bachmeier on the receiving end of that one. Actually, I take that back. Roderick has not been a head coach. The defensive coordinator, Jay Hill, was the head coach at Weber State from 2014 to 2022. Actually had a pretty good record. He was 68-39 at Weber. Okay. Yeah, now the DC here at BYU.
Yeah, you talk about this offense. They like to do a lot of this zone read, but with Barrett Bachmeier as an extra running threat. And if you watch the game from last week, Texas Tech's defensive line just disrupted all of that from the beginning. And so if they can stay ahead of the chain and move the point on the line of scrimmage, this offense can really put people on edge. And so some games this year they've kind of gotten behind. They let other teams come back. But when they're, stay on schedule, this is a tough offense to beat.
1 yard carry here by L.J. Martin. Makes it second down and 9. Elvis, what did you say they call their offense here? You know, you hear about the spread or...
I think Landry and I were talking about the bear raid.
The bear raid. That's how they're referring to it.
Yeah. Well, 454 total yards, almost 300 passing, but 160 on the ground. That is an ideal situation for this offense.
Second and 9. 2 receivers right. Man in motion is Kingston. They're going to hand it to him, try to get to the edge. Turning it up across midfield into TCU territory at the 48. Third down upcoming now. Jordan Lester there defensively for the Frogs. Clock runs with 6:13 to go. You're down 37-13. Frogs have 2 games remaining. In-state matchup next Saturday against Houston. It's the Cougars. We still don't know a kick time for that one. And then close out the year on the Saturday after Thanksgiving against the Cincinnati Bearcats. Scott Satterfield's team comes calling. Third down now. 3rd and 6. Snap comes back. Play action. Underneath, they'll flip it to the tight end. Turning it up for a gain of 1 is Carson Ryan. And it's 4th down now. Let's see what BYU does. No, part of the way. 5.5 minutes to go. If I'm a BYU fan, if you're up 37-13, knowing what all's at stake, and you know, if you get a chance to make the college football playoff, that tacks on a couple of more games. If you're a fan and you're thinking, why is Carson Ryan out there? Why is L.J. Martin out there?
Yeah. You know, that you're speaking of health, staying healthy and not having anything crazy happen. I agree with you. A lot on the line. Kalani Sitake has a tough bunch. Well, here you go.
Frogs have forced a turnover here as they come up with a loose ball as Fuller's Shirts drops the snap. And the Frogs are able to fall onto the punter. We get another look at it on replay. It was right in his hands. Actually, he just dropped the football as he went to punt it away. He drops it, but the right leg never swung. Wonder if that was a cleat issue. Either way, the Horned Frogs take over now. 1st and 10 of the 43-yard line of BYU. That's first time the Horned Frogs have had the football start beyond their own 25 tonight.
That's like my sandwich right there.
Yeah, right. He just flat dropped it, didn't he? John Denman in the backfield. 4:55 to go. Hoover out of the gun. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Handed off. Denman running right. Maybe a yard. Running behind Cade Bennett. Ace Kavusi on the tackle.
TCU's had some success in the second half with pulling guards. They've lined up with Josh Hoover under center, and he's reading the defense, checking to pass or getting in shotgun. But that play not as successful, but you can see that was an intent coming out of the half.
2nd and 9. Hoover slant, too high, tapped up to the defender, who's going to pick it up at the 40, to midfield, inside the 40, down to the 30, Tanner Wall, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown. Hoover with the interception after McAllister tipped it up in the air. Defender races it back.
Unfortunately, it feels like we've said this many, many times. Josh Hoover high and hot.
Yep.
That ball out of the reach. Well, not out of the reach of Eric McAllister, but behind him, high, and just a fastball. And he tips it, pick six. That is the story so far of this passing game.
68-yard interception return here for Tanner Wall. His third of the season. Third interception, that is. And the lead now 43-13. Will Farron for the point after. McAllister kind of tipped that with his left hand, not his right hand. It was behind him.
It was behind him.
So he had to reach back with his left hand, and when he tapped it, it went right to the defender, who was not going to be denied. Point after is up from Farron, and it's good. 44-13, BYU leads it now, 4:09 to play. Now the Cougars starting to feel it here. You know, they dropped, 4 or 5 spots in the poll last week after the loss to Texas Tech because the loss looked bad, let's face it. And so they had to come out tonight to jumpstart them in the conversation as far as the college football playoff was concerned. And they got a couple of games still left to continue to prove that they are worthy. After tonight, they go to Cincinnati, and then they close out the year against a Central Florida team that may or may not be playing for postseason. So tonight was a big opportunity for them to prove to the rest of the country that, hey, this is still one of the top 12 teams in the country, and I think they're showing that.
We haven't heard the term in a while, but unfortunately it still applies for certain teams. Style points. Sure. If you remember, TCU, those Baylor teams, those Boise State teams who were trying to play their way in, how much they won by mattered. And so maybe for BYU to not make it as close of a decision about their playoff hopes, these style points might matter.
Last time these two teams met, the Horned Frogs won 44-11 in 2023.
Who's the quarterback there?
Josh Hoover. First start. Yep. 450. What was it? 459 in that ball game. He threw 4 touchdowns. Tonight, Hoover 10 of 23 for 183 and a couple of interceptions. 1st and 10. Denman in the backfield now. Hoover under center on first down. Handed off to John, right up the middle. Freshman blows through the 35 to the 36-yard line. Maybe the 37. Give him 12 on first down. Max Alford on the tackle.
I really like what I'm seeing out of John Denman. He hadn't got a ton of play this season. Obviously, he's a freshman down on the depth chart, but he runs strong, 5'10", 210 pounds. Hits the hole there really hard, and TCU looking for an option when Kavori Barnes is not in. He's definitely making a case for himself.
First down at 10 now. Under center again, Denman gets a carry to the 40. And 3. Clock runs with 3.5 to play. Second and 7 now at the 40-yard line. Hoover out of the gun this time with Denman standing to his right. Chase Curtis out there at tight end. We haven't called his name tonight. Denman, nice carry here. Will get the first down to the 49-yard line. Josh Denman moves the chains. Talon Alfrey on the tackle.
And yeah, this is dead time. This is garbage time, as they say. But he's one cut, hitting the hole, leading with his pads. His pads are low and he's falling forward. Those are really good cues, things you like to see out of a young running back. These reps are going to be invaluable for him regardless of the situation.
Right outside the sign. Handoff Denman. John across the 45. Moving the pile forward here. Denman's going to get close to first down yardage to the 42-yard line. 64,447 here tonight. Fifth straight sellout at LaVell Edwards Stadium. 2nd and 1 at the 43. Officials are going to step in here. We may get a timeout for the 2-minute timeout, and we do. Timeout of the field. Frogs are down to this one, 44-13 to BYU. Back we come after this word from T-Mobile.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone, too. For my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family. Drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile. Thanks, Zoe.
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto-pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Two minutes left of this ball game. Frogs down 44-13. Brian Estridge, Lone Marshall Newhouse, Elvis Gallegos, our statistician Brian Sperry, our spotter Wayne Gossard, and our producer engineer for this one Blake Jones. Weather-wise, it was a beautiful Saturday night here in Provo. For the Horned Frogs, been a tough one though. Trailing 44-13 here with 2 minutes left. Tonight's game brought to you by Frost Bank, proud sponsor of TCU Athletics. From accounts to advice, exactly what you need with the unexpected level of care you deserve. Frost, exactly what you unexpected. And by Kohl's, back-to-school styles that spoil them at prices that spoil you, from jeans and tees to sneakers and more, which means you can do it all without overdoing your budget when you shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Timeout continues here. Frogs have to regroup before next week against Houston. The Cougars.
Despite Houston's, last couple of games, they had a hot start. They were ranked.
Oh yeah.
They play really good defense there. Willie Fritz he's building something serious down there in Houston. They got a highly rated quarterback coming in. They're building something to last. And so TCU's going to have to bring their A game to Houston if they want to make a showing of it.
Yeah, not an easy place to play either. Nate Palmer in it running back now. They're going to hand it to Nate, running to his right, bounces off a defender, spins into another, and down he goes to the 38, gets the first down, though. That was a 2nd and 1 carry for Palmer. He got 4.
He's tackled by number 35.
First and 10
TCU.
from the 39. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Out of the gun works Hoover. Palmer leaves the backfield. He'll throw it left, looking for, I think that's Dwyer down there. And Dwyer was tackled at the 2-yard line. Flags come all over the place.
Pass interference, number 31, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That pass was about 10 yards short.
Yep. Dwyer was trying to come back to it.
Yeah. You wonder if maybe one of those in regulation would have helped.
Yeah. By my account, Brian Sperry, that's just the 3rd penalty charge to TCU, or charge to No, there's 4 penalties total in this game. Is that right? Or is it 5? Fifth penalty. Only 5 penalties in this game. 1st and 10. Here's Hoover dancing, rolling to his right. Going to tuck it under and run down to the 15-yard line.
No, you're all good. I'm going to hide behind you.
Steps out of bounds. See where they spot him here. Put him at the 17. Make it 2nd down and short now. Second down now. 2nd and 2. 2 receivers left. One to the right. Hoover out of the gun. Palmer in the backfield gets the carry. Nate slides to the 15-yard line. And right at the marker, but I don't think he's quite there. 3rd down. 3rd and 1. Hand it left. Hoover's going to keep it. Try to turn it up, and I'm not so sure he got there. I think it's going to be 4th down at the 15. Frogs came into this game 12 of 12 on 3rd down and 1. 0 for 2 tonight, though. Now decision coming.
TCU takes their 3rd and final charge time out of the half.
Sonny Dykes wants to talk through this one. 42 seconds left. Fourth and 1. Spotted at the 15. So Houston next week, then Cincinnati the following Saturday for the Horned Frogs. That's what's remaining here. But of course, as we know, this team is bowl eligible. 6 wins already. So then postseason looms after that. So still a lot of football for this group.
Listen, yeah, things have not gone as they hoped, as they planned.
Yep.
That's life. That's football. But what can be controlled is between the lines. And so TCU right now on the end of this game, and then these last 2 weeks, both for the seniors, outgoing seniors, for guys who are looking to make a name for themselves, whether they play here or somewhere else, for young players looking to make a name for themselves, these are important reps and important preparation. I just steadily believe in that being the culture that continues on for TCU.
Direct snap coming to Trent Battle. Penalty marker here. I think this may take a 4th and 1 to 4th and 6. They moved Hoover out of the backfield. He split him out wide.
False start. Offense. Multiple players moved, but the center did not snap the ball. It's a 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
What is that usually a signal of, by the way, Marshall, when you see that?
That means everyone got the snap count and the center had a brain fart.
Is that what it was?
That's usually what happens.
Yeah, you kind of go by majority rules, right? You figure
right.
5 wide, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Hoover now out of the shotgun. And again, flags and the ball not snapped by Colton Deary with movement up front. Elvis.
Snap infraction, number 51, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Elvis, this stadium is not full anymore.
No.
I guess it's still loud, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lack of focus, especially coming out of a timeout, right? I mean, you should have been talking some of that stuff through. So it's hard to tell by the body language, but you got to blame Colton Deary on this. I hate to say that, but
he moved the ball backwards, but didn't release it, Marshall.
It seems like the last 2 plays, he was on a different snap count than the rest of the offense.
Snap back to Hoover. 4th and 11. In the pocket, it breaks down. He's sacked. That'll do it with 37 seconds left. And BYU is going to improve to 9-1 on the season. They'll go to 6-1 in Big 12 play Frogs drop off to 6-4, now 3-4 in league action with 37 seconds to work with here. To a knee. Goes Bachmeier. That was actually McKay Hillstead who came in to take one snap there. Hillstead, sophomore out of Lehigh, Utah, just down the road. Sonny Dykes makes his way to midfield for a hug and a handshake with his good friend Kalani Sitake. An extended conversation there with those two who were tight. Tonight, though, Kalani with the upper hand. Final score, BYU 44, TCU 13. Wrap-up show starts next. The stations we still owe you network break number 8. And we bring it to you right now. Back we come after this timeout. And a word from the Moritz Auto Dealerships.
Moritz Kia invites you to go electric during the Season of New Traditions year-end sales event. Moritz is making deals on the Kia EV9 and Kia Niro Hybrid. Right now you can get 0% APR for 60 months with credit approval through KMF at a cost of $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Moritz is here for you. Moritz Kia, the best name in the business, backed by the best warranty in the business. Moritz Kia in Fort Worth, Hurst, and Alliance. Offers end December 1st, 2025.